Hey everyone, Old School Pokemon here. I'm back again with the Pokeflipz podcast, joined by my usual co-host, KetchumAllCollectibles Dan. How are we doing today, Dan?
Doing well. It was a not super productive day. I had a lot of errands to run this morning, and I'll talk about it in a minute. But we're gonna tap out slightly early here. A lot of times we go the full 3 hours to 4:15. Probably tap out around 3:45 Eastern today. 2.5 hours. We'll see if the dozen or 2 dozen guests are fine with that or not. We'll see how many people we have in chat. I think we'll be able to keep up with all the questions, but as always, question capitals, yell at us your question, give us stop signs, all that stuff. It helps me. But yeah, how are you doing? I know you had some big things going on recently.
Yeah, I'm doing good. We're recovering from Collecticon weekend, which was an absolute blast. I had a really good time. That was a ton of fun. But yeah, trying to get recovered from that. It's a slow process getting everything organized, sorted through, getting the house back in order. So yeah, we're doing that this week. Why even go live?
UAP says just wrapped up 12 hours at campus, so we'll be very much enjoying this, except seeing Nick though.
Wow. Okay.
How's it going, Ancient Mew? Team Rocket Jester dropped a first, even though he was 4 minutes later than Ditto Faction with this question, our very first question of the day. We'll start here. I will start questions as we go. We will get to all of them as we always do for the most part. But yeah, feel free to ask away your questions in the chat. Gentlemen, I use that term loosely, as you should. What is a question you wish you were never asked again in relation to the hobby? What do you wish you were asked more? I'll let you go first, Nick. That's a good question. I think he asked it last night, actually. He asked it yesterday in the Off Center podcast. Because I listened back to that earlier this morning.
I haven't listened to that one yet. No spoilers.
Ditto Faction asked this question, so spoiler.
Never asked again. The first thing that comes to mind, we really haven't gotten in a while. But asking about reprints, when we're getting the Evo Skies reprint, those types of, we really haven't gotten that one in a long time though. But I guess that one would be the one to never talk about again. And then asked more about, I would say more like asking how I'm doing. Nobody really cares about how I'm doing. I always ask you, Dan, how you're doing. You never reciprocate and ask how I'm doing.
I think I came back with how are you after my rant. I think I usually do.
No, I think that would be more of like eBay Live questions, like new people getting started, talking more about eBay Live.
Let's see if Ditto will hit us with some eBay Live questions, or perhaps he will hit us with when is Dustin, when is Prismatic, when is Evolving Skies, when is Base Set Unlimited getting reprinted. So as far as bad questions that I don't want asked again, that I know will be asked again. The worst questions are like the ones without context. That like,
ooh.
They ask the most broad thing of like what set is best, Ascended or Prismatic. We talk to some collectors here, and that's fine. We talk like, if you want to ask me which set do I prefer personally as a collector, as someone to open, ask me in that context. Ask me with that framing. But if you ask what's better, Prismatic or Ascended, the time frames matter. Are you investing? Are you speculating? Are you opening? Like EV, Ascended Heroes is better. If you like Evolutions as your favorite Pokemon, like Prismatic Evolutions is probably better. If you want to invest over a 6 month, 1 year, 5 year, 10 year time frame, I'm going to have different answers for different situations. But like, what should I buy without any context? What's better without any context? those are the ones that grind my gears. I will always set the stage with like, hey, this is what I'm buying and why. I am me with my own personal cash flow and situations, whatever, access to product. And so I always get driven a little bit nuts by the contextless questions that really 100% depend. And then what do I wish I was asked more? I guess it's kind of cheating because it's using the same thing. I wish it was like, hey, I'm 3 months into full time and I have 10 grand to work with and I have 5 grand in inventory. That would be a little bit dark only having that much capital for trying to be full time. But like, give me some particulars and then lay out like what you're facing, lay out what you're doing. Or like, I really do like the tax and the finance talk. I really do like the specific tax and finance talk. I'll hit you with the not financial advice, not tax advice, blah, blah, blah. But I'll hit you with like actual circumstances that I've been through myself. If I were in your shoes here, I would talk to my accountant about Roth IRAs for my kids. I would talk to my accountant about becoming an S corporation. I would talk to my accountant about business use of home and doing basic versus actual expenses on your vehicle and doing simplified square footage for your home office versus doing the actual cost of your home office. I think those are the kind of things that a lot of people just have no insight into how they work. And I think a lot of people have so much more room for optimization in things that they can tangibly change today or tomorrow, as opposed to like the reprint garbage, as opposed to like guessing on what's going to go up faster, what's going to go down slower, anything like that. That stuff, there's like objective singular bits of data that can be shared that will improve their circumstances like today, immediately, guaranteed. G word. So there's my rant on that.
I like it.
This is not a skateboard channel, sadly. I think I've stepped on a skateboard twice, and both times I ended up on my butt immediately. I snowboarded in college. Not like I was an amazing snowboarder doing any kind of crazy tricks or anything, but I could go down the hill. I could get down the mountain pretty reasonably. Couple bad wipeouts when I was trying to go too fast or do something a little crazy. But I don't have amazing balance at all. I surprised myself with how decently I could snowboard. I don't think I could ever do anything on a skateboard because that just seems like it requires that much more balance.
Yeah, I am not good at that either.
Starting some questions as we go. They jump on Pokemon skateboards at the end and rip a half pipe.
Yes.
Anyone go full time this week? I'm sure there's people out there that took the leap this week in particular. But as far as the KetchumAllCollectibles crew goes, there's a lot of new news bubbling. I don't know entirely what news is out and what news is not entirely out, but there's exciting things to come. And next week, it's not a Pokeflipz week, so I'm going to be live on my own channel. But I'm sure you've heard, like Bierski has a shop now that he's opening.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that? I can't remember if we talked about that 2 weeks ago on Flips or not.
No.
I couldn't remember. That's going to be exciting, though. I'm going to go down with like a minivan worth of stuff that I'm functionally consigning, I guess. He's going to have a bunch of sealed from me to like start out the shop, have a lot of different variety. It's stuff that doesn't work amazingly for me for live streams. It's a wide variety of stuff, but more think about things that are dark to ship. Think about the big. I've got some of the Costco type stuff. I've got some of the not that I want to make him look entirely like a scalper, but sometimes I buy collections and those things come in. Some perfect order product that isn't moving for us on the streams that I think would move in an LGS. But yeah, I'm really excited for Bierski. Really excited to help in whatever ways I can with that. But the trip next week is going to be a lot of fun.
It looks like a pretty good space too. It's not massive, but then it's kind of like the perfect size. It's you'll be able to fill it with inventory so that there's not empty space, but then it's not super big where it's unmanageable for just him to handle. Yep. I like it. The only thing I will say is I don't like those checkerboard floors. It looks like a 50s diner. He's got to get like the old milkshake stand and the jukebox, and
I've got to bring him. I still have a sealed Pokemon chess set that I never opened. I should bring that as like a housewarming gift, an LGS warming gift. Just randomly set out all the Pokemon figures on his floor. Play some chess out on the floor.
There we go.
But yeah, I do see the questions coming in. I guess we'll talk about Collecticon. We should hear more from you. Do you want to talk about Collecticon up front, or do you want to wait until someone asks a question where we can kind of weave it in better?
I don't care. We can do whatever. We can do it. We can keep answering questions.
Okay, let's do a couple questions. Yeah, let's do a couple questions, and then I'm sure there'll be some point where something comes up where we can weave it in better. But I might talk a little bit more at length if people have questions or if it comes up naturally on the whole Bierski shop thing. But yeah, Krabby wants to know, question for both. What's the most inefficient part of your business, and what steps are you taking to fix it? I like it.
Inefficiencies. I think for me it would be organization. Both like keeping track of what I'm spending, what I'm selling, like accounting side of things, and then even just like inventory side of things. Just like going through boxes, finding cards that I should not be having in just binders just sitting there that I should be actively selling. So this year I've gotten a lot better about keeping up with like the finance side of stuff. At the end of every month, I've been going through downloading my bank statements, my credit card statements, and actually inputting all that into a spreadsheet, kind of keeping up with it month by month, which will definitely help with tax time. And then it's also just something that I should be more aware of that I never was. And then just organization side, I've been decently good. I need to get better. But like going through boxes, getting stuff organized, actually listing stuff on the core side of eBay, between regular auctions, buy it now items. So I've been decent with that. There's weeks that I do better than other weeks, so I do need to get more consistent with that. But yeah, just trying to get myself better organized and start selling through more of this stuff than just having it sit around in boxes.
Yeah, me personally, or same answer. Organization is bad. It's kind of been to my benefit over the past 12 years. Losing things and finding them years later is like accidental forced diamond-handedness. And that's treated me better in the past than I think it will in the future. So I'm actually, my sister's been helping me a lot with it, but I think actively, as we speak, I think she's going through like 4-row and 5-row boxes. And there's like old MetaZoo mixed with new MetaZoo, mixed with new Pokemon, mixed with like random bills and paperwork that I should be maintaining in my filing cabinet. So another like relevant, timely thing on that front too is my dad came over yesterday, and I mentioned recently a few times that I'm going to be doing like a little warehouse expansion. And you remember, I have like a detached garage at my house. I have an attached one and a detached one. The detached one, I planned on just like insulating it and siding it and like redoing it, making it nicer and making it into a warehouse. But the building is shot. My dad came over yesterday and he's like, this is not, it is, anything is salvageable. But he's like, the cost and the effort and the energy to salvage this, as opposed to just knock it down and start over and do it the right way, which is kind of like, that's a lot bigger project, kind of sucks. But that was 26 by 26, I think, like 500, 600 square feet, somewhere in that vicinity. I'm going to go big. I'm gonna make something a lot bigger now. Given that I have to, yeah, not like 5,000 square feet, but it's gonna be like, it's gonna be more than double what was there. So it's like a bittersweet thing. It's gonna be a lot more expensive, but like we're booming. I'll just sell a couple of booster packs of something and I'll pay for the
Sell
whole
a
thing.
couple
So
booster packs. So there we go. There we go.
but yeah, I told my sister like the vision is to get through everything before the warehouse is built. Like the final week before we break ground on the warehouse, I want to question. I want like if I'm not questioning whether or not I need a warehouse anymore, I've failed. I literally want to get everything done, everything caught up, and I want to make it feel like, oh my God, I don't even need a warehouse anymore. I'm being so efficient and nice and good and lean with my space that I don't need it. And then I'm gonna build it, and then I'm gonna do some business. Like I've been held back by my space. I've been held back by how I work out of my garage, and I'm a lot of times I'm just getting things and breaking them down and forwarding them, but I'm doing it like on top of my lawnmower, and I'm doing it like in such a horribly efficient way. I'm gonna start setting back more things that have more air in them, that perform well over time, that I just never could justify before. So I'm really excited on how many fronts that new space will help me, short term and long term.
Even just to spread things out a bit instead of having just boxes stacked on top of each other. It'll be really nice. It'll be really nice. And then you'll be able to fill it no problem. Like even when I moved from because in Massachusetts I was living with my mom, so I had a spare bedroom and then a little office in the basement plus my room, and that was jam packed with stuff. And then I moved here, and it's like, oh man, I've got a 2-bedroom apartment with a whole basement. I've got so much space, and I'm even at the point now where it's like, man, I'm running out of space. It's wild how much these little rectangles take up.
Yeah, it is. I like goldfish. I think we grow to the size of our bowl. So I'm gonna build it bigger than I think I need, and I'm definitely gonna have a little bit of like right now, my garage, my basement are a mix of personal things and Pokemon things. And the vast majority of my stuff is at the Fanatics Vault, and it's with streamers and it's with consignment operations. But still, like when I get a pallet that comes in, just being able to have tables and have pallet racks and like being able to spread it all out, get a better feel for what's there, not lose things constantly. It's gonna be so nice. I'm super excited for it. But there's other things too that I think one of the biggest things, I'm good about doing my video once a week. I'm good about doing my my live stream every other week or once a week or whatever. But content related to the streams, we're not doing like whatsoever. The fact that we're not clipping anything, the fact that we're not doing any of that stuff, I think we have some plans, ideas, we being me and or some independent contractors related to the business. There's some plans that like might come to fruition at some point, but I really need to like make that happen at some point relatively soon. The warehouse project will be a big undertaking. It's going to tie up a lot of my time. It's definitely going to cut into business time. It's going to cut into family time. It's going to be a big project once we break ground on it. But and it will be worse for the short term. I have to, everything that's in that garage needs to go into my garage or basement in the meantime, in the interim. So like it's most of it's junk. Like most of it's just outdoor random junk. A lot of it I can throw away. Probably gonna have some bonfires to get rid of some stuff and to get rid of some amount of the structure that's currently there. Which those will be fun. Chainsaw and sawzall.
The tear down's always fun. The building I don't enjoy, but the demolition, that's the fun part.
Yeah, I hate. I don't mind like the construction part. Demo is more fun. Construction's fine too. I just hate the finish work. I hate painting. I'm probably gonna go with just like steel inside. It's gonna be like very commercial, industrial. It's not gonna be like finished sheetrock. I think it's just gonna be like steel siding on the inside. That's how my dad's current shop is. I look forward to not having to paint and to do like sheetrock finish work and things of that nature. That'll be nice.
Yeah, definitely.
I see some questions coming in, but yeah, thank you, Krabby's Cards, for that one. Should I send my 2 Moonbreon PSA 10s to Beckett? I want that 40K black label. If they're black labels, yes. If they're not black labels, no. Thank you for your question. Easy. And then a follow-up, Walrus wanted to know, should I open all my Evolving Skies to pull the Moonbreon and black label? If there's a black label Moonbreon inside, yes. If there's a PSA 9 Moonbreon inside, you would actually lose money opening an Evolving Skies booster box, which is crazy. I assume, I don't even know what a 9 is. I know a 10's like $4,000, so a 9's got to be losing money, right? Or barely breaking even, probably.
I would imagine. I can't see it being 2,500, 3,000. It's got to be around 2,000.
It's probably $2,000, and you're spending $100-something bucks to grade it. So like, you got to be losing money with that.
Oh yeah.
Should I crack all my old CGC 9.5s to get 10s at PSA? Not all of them, only the ones that will get 10s at PSA. All the ones that won't, send those to CGC to get the new gem at 10.
Yes.
Easy.
Yes.
Easy questions today.
Flying through these questions. Look at us.
Cost is low. I stole from Target. Actually, that's actually something. At the risk of creating competition for myself, I'm a big calendar guy. I can't remember anything, so I have to use a calendar. I was looking at my weekend coming up, and this Saturday at 8 a.m. there's or whenever Target opens, whenever your local Target opens, there's like an exclusive drop of merchandise in Target this weekend. I'm not going with the desire or intent to like scalp anything. I'm just like collector boy, consumer Dan. There's a lot of cool shit dropping this Saturday in Targets. Yeah. Let me do the thing. We are live on YouTube. We do have StreamYard cooking. Let me share and kind of like scroll through some of this stuff. Let me make sure. I don't think I'm signed in, so I'm not going to dox myself, hopefully.
What do you think the chances are you actually get anything?
I don't know, but like
bought out and scalped.
I'm gonna go and like vibe check it, but there's a lot of cool clothing. There's all different kinds of random stuff, like temporary tattoos. There's bag charms. There's all different kinds of crap, and I mean they're calling all trainers, so we gotta go. I mean we're being called.
That is true. That is true.
I'm just gonna go and like if there's tons of stuff, I'm gonna tell my kids like, here's early part of your birthday, here's early part of Christmas, here's early. Your dad is a crazy Pokemon master who is gonna give you guys $100 each to spend on random Pokemon crap because I just want more Pokemon crap in the house. But like this Kanto starter jacket, very 90s nostalgic, mystery water bottles. I mean, they've got water bottle booster packs. What are we doing here? I'm going to buy, like, Nick, if they had a pallet of these and you thought they were scalpable, would you buy a pallet of them to sell on stream?
Yes.
For double your money.
100%. I want the Squirtle one. I'm hoping to pull a Squirtle one. I want that. I forget which hoodie.
They got a kick, like a Pokeball kickball. I am 100% buying that. Like, I'm going to buy. Oh, that one's not till June 6th. But there's so much random crap. Look at this thing. It's like a Topps Chrome Gengar Trapper Keeper. Look at this thing. I don't know what I'm going to put in it. Butterfree hair clips? Yes. My daughter will use those.
You don't need hair clips, Dan.
I mean, I'll grow out the hair to use them. Ultra Ball, kickballs. Look at all this stuff. This stuff's crazy. I promise this is not paid. This is not affiliated. I'm just excited.
It is exciting. There's so much stuff they're dropping.
35 cents a sticker for official licensed stickers? I mean, what are we talking about? Hollows. Now, do they have random inserts? Do they have serialized chases? Do they have like layered tiered rarity in it? I hope so, but probably not, unfortunately. Look at all this stuff, though. Detangling hairbrush. This stuff is nuts. Look at that. Look at that Mewtwo.
That does look good. That does look good.
I don't use notebooks, but if I had that notebook, I would. We got one for Mason, even. We got one for Cardinal as well.
One for Mason.
Look at that.
They got a lot of good stuff. Lip
They've
balm.
got
There you go, dude. There you go.
they've got Pokemon Pop Tarts.
The
Add to my
Sour
sealed
Patch Kid.
PC. I gotta add all this stuff to my sealed PC. This stuff is wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, they've got so much stuff. It'll be exciting. It'll be exciting.
And I put it on my calendar for all the dates. I think it drops tomorrow in store, and then there's like multiple different waived drop dates for online.
I thought it was Saturday, the 2nd.
Or sorry, yeah, I'm thinking it's Friday for some reason. It drops Saturday the 2nd, and then I think it drops online the 3rd, the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think there's a second wave drop that's in like June, which it was showing there. Yeah, Target drop 2 is June 6th. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see all that stuff, to see if there's like a mad rush of people at Target when it opens, if people will be trying to scalp it and flip it and dip it and stuff. But no, I think that'll be interesting.
I feel like it's gotta. I see, like me. I don't know. Do I even try and go to a Target? I feel like you'll have good luck because you're the only one in your area. There's really not a single other person by you. But I wonder if like I would have luck being towards like the city. Because I was thinking about whether I should try going. Maybe I'll still try. I don't know. I feel like it will get instantly bought out.
Yeah, I have no idea like how many people will try and be there. I'm gonna check my Target's hours. I think they open at 10, or maybe it is 8 a.m.
10 sounds late.
I thought like malls and stuff usually open at 10. No, it is 8 a.m. Ooh, do I want to go that early? That's early. I'll probably go when it opens, though. I'll probably try to plan to hit it right when it opens. We do have a fairly busy day that day, so I probably will have to go. Yeah, because we've got like baseball and all different kinds of crap going on. But I'll probably go right when it drops and just see what I see, and then I'll bring donuts home to the wife and kids. They'll probably not come with me that early. Yeah, I don't think maybe my son would, if I tell him, hey, if I bribe him with $100 of Pokemon merch that he can pick himself, maybe he'll wake up early on a weekend with me. Dan has to compete with deer to buy Pokemon. There are a lot of deer up here. Continuing on with the questions, though. Over a long enough time horizon, don't we have the technology to build a large enclosed structure where we could replicate the environment and conditions for evolution and dinosaurs? What? I think we can just clone them, and I think we have in popular culture references before, and I don't think it's gone well. But someday it wouldn't be shocking if we tried.
Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
OSP acknowledging eBay is probably not going anywhere, maybe? Do you ever consider branching to other live selling platforms?
Not anymore, no. If you asked me that to like a year and a half, 2 years ago, Walrus could tell you it was a every other night would be screw eBay Live. I'm gonna start on Whatnot.
Someone clip it. He said all the words together without anything to chop it up. We've got the clip.
But yeah, no. Nowadays, now that eBay Live is more kind of cemented their foundation and is slowly starting to expand. I think eBay Live is going to be the place to be. So yeah, I want to stick with them. They've treated me very, very well over the past 3 years. So I want to keep up that relationship and continue to grow with them. I think there is definitely something to be said. Yes, you have the massive growing pains being on a platform from the beginning. But I do think there's something to be said about being that initial guinea pig. They're willing to work with you a lot more. Whereas if you're just getting on the platform now, they might not listen to your feedback as much. Like the same for you, Dan, with Fanatics. I'm sure they take your opinion higher than some random other seller who just got on there, and I'm sure you work closer with them than most people would.
Yeah. I whatnot has been calling me more lately, texting and calling and emailing, and like on all fronts, they're just constant. I've spoken with them before. I don't think it hurts to talk to them. I'm not like contracted with eBay and or Fanatics or anything, but I'm already spread between eBay and Fanatics. I like what I have going on at both. There's pros and cons to every platform, as always. I don't think adding whatnot adds anything major. But that said, if the right person approached me, like obviously I've got a thing going on where like I'm not the face. If the right person approached me and said, "Hey Dan, I want to be like leading the charge on KetchumAllCollectibles whatnot," a conversation could happen. It would probably be more akin to what Grimer, Spat, and Bierski do, rather than what Ponga and PK do. Ponga and PK sell my stuff. PK entirely on Fanatics Live. Ponga on Fanatics and eBay now that he's full-time. Then Bierski does a little bit of instant rips on Fanatics Live, but he's mostly selling his own stuff on eBay. Grimer and Spat sell their own stuff on eBay. So I don't think I would have anyone at any time come on new that is selling only my stuff. I think that's a thing that's exclusive for PK and Ponga, because I wouldn't be able to keep up. I don't have the desire to keep up. I have a lot of other aspects of the business that that require a lot of my time, and I think my time is better spent with them as opposed to firing up a new streamer that sells my stuff. But again, if the right person, like the biggest thing though that comes to, on eBay, I'm KetchumAllCollectibles. I'm a 20-year-old, 60,000 plus sale, maybe even close to 100,000 sales now with all the live streaming that's gone on in the past several months. On eBay, like I'm an account, I'm a name, I'm a brand to some extent. Multi-decade, like lots of all that stuff. I have a relationship with them to some extent. I have like better rates and whatever with them, with the live portion, not with regular eBay. But with Fanatics too, I'm their Pokemon guy. Like we are their Pokemon guy. We are a name on there. I have the largest CGC Fanatics consignment operation with them on the collect side as well. On whatnot, I'm another guy, and there are so many more big fish. So I don't know, like me. You got to listen to Off Center last night too, because they kind of talk about me and my operation a little bit too. They talk about the model of like creating the win-win, where I win because they help maintain and grow the platform that is my KetchumAllCollectibles eBay and Fanatics, and they win by having access to a closed platform, and I have better rates, so like they get lower rates, and like we both win. We both win together. With whatnot, I don't know that a win-win could really be created. I probably have enough GMV on other accounts. I could show them my 90-day. I could show them my 90-day on live and on eBay, and they would probably do something better for my account at the launch. So maybe there would be a win-win when it comes with respect to fees. Maybe I would get a little bit of a further push, but I talked with them before. The numbers that they want to be hitting within 3-6 months, like I can't help in that. So I think anything that someone could do on whatnot, it would be so much more of just them that like I don't think I add to the situation. I think I just add friction. I don't add anything beneficial for everybody. GMV's gross market value. So like your total sales, basically your gross sales.
At Collecticon, we had someone come up the table trying to recruit Temu live sellers. Could you imagine streaming on there?
I've been getting a lot of Temu emails lately.
I would never do that. What's the first thing you think of when you think of Temu? You think of fake Chinese crap garbage. Who is going on there to buy Pokemon cards? That is wild.
It's a big world out there. Yeah, I don't know. It's nuts. I've been getting a lot of emails. I'm getting a couple emails a week from Temu. They're almost as as persistent as the Yageli acrylic folks over on Instagram. I literally get a different one like every other week. I get a new one plus the old ones. It's insane.
And you haven't even ordered anything off of them. I ordered off of them a few times. It's wild.
Yeah. I've told them, like, I just say I could block them, I guess, but like they keep messaging me. I'm like, stop messaging me. Tell everyone at your company to stop messaging me. Like, how do I just block everyone? It's crazy how many times they've reached out to me, and it's really annoying.
It is.
Let's see. Whatnot texts me about once a week, and I'm a nobody.
I guess you're not special, Dan.
DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles. Timu has $10 booster boxes. You can't beat that.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, I'm starring more questions as we go. How much has making content attributed to the success of your businesses? You want to go first, Nick?
I think it's helped me. I think it's helped a little bit. I've been so inconsistent with it, though. I stopped for a couple of years. I don't think it has been as big as for you over there. But I do think it is really helpful for people being able to put a face to the name. I think that's really, really helpful. Than just being some username that nobody knows whatsoever.
I'm gonna push back on that, and I'm gonna say that Pokeflipz alone is 99.9% of how and why Old School Pokemon exists at all. You owe everything to this, Nick. You owe everything to this. No, I think I say this all the time. Lean into your strengths. I think one of my strengths is that I'm a known, trusted face brand in the space. I use my eBay, my YouTube, my YouTube and my Instagram for like 80+% of my sourcing is done through my connections, and a lot of that came from and some of that's going back 12 years to creating the E4 account, and then 6 years ago creating the Instagram, and 5 years ago creating the YouTube. So, but that's by design. Like I lean into them because I have them. That's not to say that like if I stopped doing YouTube and Instagram tomorrow, I would fail as a business. Like one, a lot of the relationships were already created and would continue to exist. But the other part of that is that I wouldn't get new ones coming in, but I could lean into other aspects of my business that work entirely fine too. I could do business without YouTube, but since I'm doing business and doing YouTube, I lean into the strengths where I have them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Here we go. How was Collecticon?
What a thought-provoking question. No, it was a really good time. We had a lot of fun.
Let us know what we're getting tomorrow. Are we getting like a full-fledged recap video? I saw, shout out to Greeny. He had a little bit of a recap video. Shout out to the Off Center podcast. They talked about Chicago a little bit. But yeah, what can we expect tomorrow? I don't know. Highbind
recorded so there's gonna be a few videos. We got a vendor buying POV video of all the buys that I made at the table. We've got a walking around buying for my anniversary stream. And then we've got a one like really cool pickup. So there's gonna be 3 Collecticon videos. I don't know which one's gonna be uploaded tomorrow. If any of them. It might just be a regular Friday video. Because he's gotta clip all that stuff and put it together. He texted me. I don't know what he said, but we'll all find out together tomorrow. It'll be a mystery. So definitely look forward to that, whatever video it might be. But yeah, it was a really, really good show. It was absolutely packed on Saturday, which is normally the busier day. And then Sunday was the normal slow in the morning and then picked up in the afternoon. This one was a lot different compared to October. In October, it was nonstop buying, but sales were pretty slow. Whereas this one, sales were really, really good, and then buying was solid. I thought it was worse than. Like in the video, I talk about how I really wasn't able to buy as much as I would have liked to on Saturday. But then looking at everything I actually bought, we actually bought a good bit of stuff, both Saturday and Sunday. So it was a really successful show for both buying and selling. It is wild how much people are asking when they go up to sell stuff. I was pretty much offering 80% on the majority of stuff that came up, and there were a decent bit of people saying that was too low. So it's wild how much people are paying right now. But yeah, overall, really good show. Bought a decent bit of sealed, lot of singles, couple graded. And then one of the coolest pickups of the weekend was Sunday afternoon. A couple from Europe came up to the table, and they saw that I was old school Pokemon, so they were talking about how you're a fan of WotC, and then he said I got a cool Team Rocket set if you're interested, and I said I'll take a look at it, and it was actually a whole, so it was a entire hollow Team Rocket set, CGC graded 8.5 to 9.5, but it was all insufficient ink errors. So like on the Blastoise, the blue background was a lighter blue. The text was like a lighter text than normal. And then even in the hollow, you can see some differences. On like the Dark Magneton, that guy's shadow is a lot more prominent than on a regular copy. So it was a really cool set. And I was able to buy that. I still want to look into it and see how I did, because there's not many like sales to base pricing off of. So I made an offer, and we were able to work something out on that. But yeah, I was super happy to pick that up. That'll be one that's going to go straight into my collection. I think I'm 90% sure I'm going to hold on to that.
You're going to have to dump it all when you open that store.
No, I'm hanging on to that one. I think I did good on it. I kind of looked up, like, I did like a generic eBay search, CDC, Team Rocket, insufficient ink, and I kind of looked at a few sales and then kind of based my pricing around that. And so I figured a value around, I think I figured a value around a little under 4,000. And so I offered 4,000, and then he wanted 5,000. And so we ended up agreeing to 4,250, which I thought was a solid price. But yeah, I still want to look that up and do a little bit more research on that. But I'm happy with that buy, and that made my weekend right there. That was so cool seeing that. Nice.
I heard a little bit about there was definitely some blackjack tables going on at one of the nights, it sounded like.
Yes, we so we're extracurricular activities. We
That's what I was waiting to hear about. The show? That's boring. We don't go to Collecticons for the show.
So Squeaks and his wife came in on Friday. They came over to the house, and we played pinball for we were probably playing pinball for like 2 hours. Squeaks, unfortunately, now has the high score. He's only like 2 million higher than my high score. So I've got a fighting chance to become number one again, become the very best. So I'm gonna be constantly playing pinball until I get rid of his high score. And then Friday night. Well, so Hive Mind and Brad were staying at my house. So they came Friday. Squeaks came Friday afternoon. Friday night we went to the casino. Met up with DeGreen Shiz, Josh, his wife, Squeaks, Mason, Jake, Vandy came along with us. So that was fun. I did not do as well as at the Turning Stone. I lost money at the casino there, so that was not as fun of a trip there.
Oh no.
It was tragic. It was tragic. But yeah, that was a good time. And then Saturday night, we me, Walrus, Hive Mind, Brad, DeGreen Shiz, his wife, and then two people from like eBay Live, regular eBay Live viewers. We all went out to the Capitol Grill for dinner. Had a really good dinner at the Capitol Grill. I like the Capitol Grill as for like a chain steakhouse. It is solid.
Solid, yeah.
But the last time we went there, which was probably like 6 months ago, it was good, but it wasn't great. And then this past time we went there over CollectCon weekend, it was really good. So we had a nice meal there, which was cool. And then what did we do Sunday? Oh, Sunday night we went to, it was me, Walrus, Thrifty, and then Mason, Jake, and BB. And wait, did I say Brad too? Brad and Hive Mind too. We all went to some Mexican restaurant that actually has really good pork chops. So we went there. That's pork chops. No, it was a lot of fun. It was a really good weekend. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Nice.
Yeah.
We just had Pokefest here. I had contemplated doing Chicago 2 weeks after Pokefest, the local show, but I went so big for that. It was a long week. I didn't get much done, so I was catching up from that, and then we ended up having stuff both Saturday and Sunday. It would have been a nightmare to try and make it, but I always like hearing people's recaps. It's always fun to hear on the great things that I missed out on. But what a great situation we have in the hobby that like literally any weekend you want to go engage, there's somebody somewhere doing something Pokemon related. There's a Collecticon, there's something going on.
Yeah, it is. There was actually at the show, there was a lot of people saying that they watched Pokeflipz and they were wondering where you were.
Oh really?
Yeah, so we got a lot of Pokeflip viewers that went to CollectCon, which was cool.
That's interesting. Like what's a lot? Like 2 or 3?
No, there was probably like 5 people. Which
that is surprising.
Solid. I was impressed.
That is solid. Yeah, I wouldn't have expected it to be that many. That's funny. Shout out to all the Collecticon goers out there. Thanks for being here. BB wants to know, what was your least favorite pickup from Collecticon?
Least favorite pickup? Ooh.
It almost feels like this is asked with like something in mind. Does he like know some story? Does he have some insider info?
I don't think he does. I don't think there was anything. I don't think there was. Was there anything? Are you referencing something particular? I don't think there was anything.
Maybe it's just a general thing.
If it's just general, I would probably say like sealed stuff. Like I picked up a ton of prismatic packs and booster bundles and ETBs, which I needed it, so I'm glad I bought it. But that stuff is just so boring. I love being able to buy like card collections and look through different stuff. The sealed is just you see it all the time. So yeah, it would definitely be like the sealed stuff. I knew his favorite, so I went for his least favorite.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, Brad says Nick went to the high roller room with the Collecticon owners.
Yeah,
on that
was where it went all downhill. Because we originally got there, and DeGreen, Chiz, and Jake were at a blackjack table, so I joined them, and I was up like $300 after playing with them, and then I went to the high limit area with the brothers, and did not win any more money there.
With the newly very liquid
and more.
Going to the high roller area with people that are significantly more liquid than you can definitely be dangerous at times. On that note, do you want to talk about the big news? This is public information. Maybe you knew about it before it was public. I don't know. But Collecticon sold. Collecticon sold recently. I don't know if you have anything you want to offer here that you can offer here. But yeah, they sold to like a couple rich dudes, like multi-billionaire dudes, it sound like. So any insight you can share? If not, I'll just speculate because I don't have any insider info.
I don't have any information. I did not know anything about the sale either. Before it actually got announced. I will say though, it was like a day before everyone started talking about it. There was like one news article, and then it was like the next day that everyone started talking about it, which was people are slacking. The Pokemon news space is kind of slacking over there.
Yeah.
But no, I just think about like we went to the very first Collecticon there was, and thinking back, that was only 2021. How much they've grown in 5 years. It's wild to think about how much they've grown, and then to be able to sell it off and make it. I don't know how much they made, but they definitely sold it for an absolute fortune. They are still going to. I don't know how it's set up, but the brothers are still gonna kind of be like the day-to-day people. So we're still gonna see them at the shows, which will be awesome. So they'll still kind of nothing. We won't see drastic changes for like the day-to-day operation of it. Hopefully I imagine they're gonna add more shows. I'm completely speculating, but I think we'll start to see international shows. I think that'll be kind of one of the big things that we see from it. Start doing shows in like Europe, Australia, Japan. That'd be wild. So yeah, but it's really exciting. I think it's actually big news because it's just like another example of like this institutional money coming into Pokemon, and it kind of reaffirms Pokemon is a thing. It is going to be here to stay, because these people aren't dumping this much money into into something that's going to be just like a fad. So it is really cool to see.
Yeah, I think it's very reasonable presumption that the investors who bought Collecticon want to see a good ROI. I think they want to make money on their money. So low-hanging fruit would be one of two things, and I think we'll see some amount of both. I would expect rising prices. I would expect to some extent the prices boosts. Boost is probably the lowest hanging fruit. The amount of times that those get botted out within a minute, and having higher prices, maybe having the same price for half the tables in the thing, but then the ones concentrated towards the front, the entrance, the more desirable ones, have them be like a tiered thing. So you could make it so 50% of the tables are the same price they are today, and then you could have the other 50% kind of scale up to double the same cost. Because I don't know about you or people out here that are listening, but I think there are certain tables that are worth twice as much as other tables in the venue. I don't think that would be unreasonable at all. And then another thing, like, yeah, if you've got 20 locations, 24 events currently, or 26, whatever it is this year, I'd be shocked if it wasn't at least 25% higher than that next year, whether all domestic, whether adding. I wouldn't be shocked if there were 2 Collecticons in one given weekend at some point in the future, whether that's 5 years from now or whether that's 5 months from now. I don't know, but probably not 5 months from now, but a couple of years from now. It wouldn't be shocking because the world, at least the world we live in today, there is demand. There is demand for it. Shows are popping up everywhere. Collecticon has a name, a brand. They've got people who know how to run it. Maybe they'll work on, maybe the new investors will work on turning the volume down to the concerts a little bit. Maybe they'll work on some of the gripes that us in our little bubble have had. But overall, like, they're crushing and they're printing money from what I understand. So
they've gotta be.
I think they printed money in their exit as well. So yeah, props to all the Collecticon owners for sure. When I talked with the Collecticon brothers about the sale and the dollar amount, they said, "Who are you?" and walked away. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they were to do something where, and then just like more branding, and I think Collecticon does well with brand partnerships and all that. But I would think that like brand partnerships and leaning into more getting high-end sponsors and getting PSA and CGC and BGS to spend a lot of money to be a featured dealer, to be on the advertising, to be involved with all that. I think all the ways to monetize it will be looked into and leaned into more than they have been, which is just natural. That's how she goes.
Yeah, I do think me and Walrus were talking about this, and then also I was talking with one of my friend vendors about that, and me and you have always said they need to raise pricing. And with Walrus, he was saying if you raise pricing, you eliminate like the small vendors, which makes Collecticon special. And I don't know. I didn't know if you would. But then I was talking with another vendor there and saying they need to raise pricing. And he was saying if they did, I said they can raise pricing to $1,000 a table and it would still instantly sell out.
Look at the National.
What?
Look at the National.
That's what I was saying. Tables are like $1,500, $2,000. And he was saying if they did some type of like guarantee, it'd be more worth it. Like if you did buy a table for that much and you were guaranteed to go to whichever shows you wanted to go to, it would be worth it. But even he was saying that would be high. So I do wonder how much they could raise the pricing before there was some pushback. Because yeah, I definitely think they could easily double the pricing, and people would still be fine with it. But would everyone actually be okay with it, or would they get pushback?
You do the boiling water thing. You don't immediately throw boiling water on them. You don't immediately throw them in the boiling water. You what's the temperature right now? The temperature right now is like a nice, too comfortable 70 or what's a comfortable 90, 95 degrees. It's something like that's like a very that's like a hot tub. That maybe we're at like what's a good temperature for a pool? 80 in the summer you want to see maybe?
No, I think it's like 72.
Well, whatever it is. I don't have a pool. I don't know what a good temperature is, but I feel like I had a friend growing up and he had the little floating thing in the pool, and the pool was normally 75 or 80. But anyways, so the pool's 72, 75, 80, whatever a reasonable temperature for a pool is. Turn it into a hot tub. Over the next few Collecticons, turn it into a hot tub. Hot tub's not for everyone, but I think there's enough people that will join the hot tub to fill out the place. And I mean, eventually you got that thing scalding at 140 degrees, and you still got enough people selling it out, and they'll figure it out. They'll figure out the numbers. Yeah, I think 72 is like super cold for a pool. It would feel cold.
Is it?
I mean, your skin is like 98.6, right? That's not really your skin temperature. That's your internal temperature. But I think low 70s feels relatively cold. Depending on what you're used to, though. Like I swim in lakes in upstate New York. I've definitely swam in 60-degree lakes, 55-degree lakes, late spring, early summer. But anyways, I think people understand what I'm saying there.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
it is true. I wouldn't want it to become something where it's just massive shops at Collecticon as booths. That was one thing you'll hear in one of our videos of us walking around. Is one thing I do is I normally skip like the people who rent out massive like a whole section and have more of like a professional setup. I usually skip those tables and I'll focus on like the people who have 2-3 tables. Just because they're more willing to negotiate usually. Whereas if you have an actual store and you're set up with a whole section at Collecticon, I've never found those people willing to negotiate much on price. It's whatever they have it stickered at is what the price is. So I'll usually normally just skip right over those tables. So I don't want Collecticon ever to become that. I do like the smaller vendors there, but I do think there's plenty of margin there that they can still take advantage of.
And I could be wrong, but I feel like there's room to do two things at once. I know that years ago, you and I used to talk. I remember on Pokeflipz 3-4 years ago talking about how they had 4. And I said that I generally wanted more. And you said that you didn't want that much more because you wanted them to be more special things. You wanted them to feel more like when you go, everyone that you know is going to go because there's only 4 a year. And like you kind of got to go to all of them. And you could go to all of them. But I think there's room to do something where like they add more, but they also make some of them like the majors. Think of like, I don't know if people know golf in here. I don't know golf amazingly well, but I think people vaguely know that like there's a PGA event almost every weekend. There's probably 40 or 50 PGA events in a year, but there's 4 majors. So there's the Masters, there's the US Open, there's do I know them all? There's the Masters, the US Open.
Isn't the FedEx Cup one of them? Or is that no? Maybe
no. That's the international. How am I not remembering what the 4 majors are?
I couldn't even tell you. But yeah, no. What was it? A few weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? That was all that was on my YouTube. I watched like one video on the Masters, and then there were so many recommendations on the Masters.
Masters, PGA Championship, US Open, and then the Open Championship. So the British Open. But anyways, I think there's some model. There's some potential for them to go into like a hey, we have something every weekend around the year. Literally every weekend there's something somewhere. Maybe some weekends there's 2. There's one in LA and there's one in the UK or whatever. But like these are our premier ones. Call them something different. Put them up on a pedestal and make those ones the more corporate-y, the more nationally, maybe the ones that more people will go to or the certain kind of people will go to. You charge more for the tables. I feel like that's a thing that could happen. I'm not like a super amazing branding guy, whatever. So I'm not gonna solve the whole thing in case the Collecticon lads are listening. But I feel like there's a model there that could kind of please the people that miss what it used to be, where there was only 4 a year, 6 a year, and it was special. You could kind of have that, and then you could also have it's literally every weekend, everywhere, and we're printing money left and right, 24/7, 365. I think there is an avenue to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one last thing that I wanted to say on that, like institutional money. I think people hear institutional money is coming to Pokemon, and they think like, oh yeah, my $500 Dustin Rivals booster box is going to go to 5,000 within the next 6 months when institutional money comes in. I think they see billionaires sitting at a computer buying out eBay, buying out TCG Player. This is what institutional money looks like. BlackRock owns CGC. Nat Turner is institutional money. Collectors Nat Turner and his group bought Collectors years ago. Collecticon getting bought out is institutional money. Fanatics buying PWCC is institutional money. Institutional money's been here for a while. It's getting more common, I guess. But that's what it means when people talk about institutional money. At least that's the way that I feel and see it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Daytona 500 is another one. Average pool temperature 78 to 82. Nick, I was spot on with 80.
72.
72 is room temperature. 68 to 72 is room temperature normally, but
82. That's the, I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't remember.
Let's see. I'm going to here's one that's timely with what we were just talking about. So this one's going to skip the line. Kiki, but with the increased number of local shows, aren't there more opportunities for smaller shops? Should CAC even be part of smaller sellers' business plan anymore, other than the social aspect? That's another aspect too. Is like people might miss the old days. This goes into the Taylor Swift conversation. I think, Nick, you're probably familiar with the Taylor Swift. I watched her open for Rascal Flatts. Back in the day, Taylor Swift, you could go watch her for $50. And it's just not that world anymore. She's grown beyond her small town roots, her little small local show thing. Your random backyard local band, indie band, whatever you want to call it, they've gone worldwide. It doesn't need to work for everybody. That's just like the simple fact of the matter. The investors bought it to make money, and they're going to do whatever makes sense for them. And it's not going to take into account KetchumAllCollectibles' opinion necessarily. It's not going to take into account Old School Pokemon and Kiki Jiki and everyone's individual opinions. And it shouldn't, realistically. Like, it is a business, and there's a risk that they could get too big and they could alienate people, and all those things are known by them. But it's very, and I said this years ago in Pokeflipz, it's selfish and unreasonable to say, like, you guys can't make more than 6 shows because I want you to suit me and my needs and my desires. That's never really going to happen, unless start your own show. Start your own show, and then when Mr. Monopoly Man comes up with a big bag of cash, say no. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck turning down the bag.
No, I who knows? But I think I would argue you do need smaller vendors at CollectCon. I think it would lose. I think it would be worse for, like, I think attendees would stop going if it was just all corporate and you just had all the biggest names set up vending at Collecticons. I think you do need those small vendors to keep it going. Dan taking credit for it. Yeah, I think you definitely do. Even with the small vendors can go to local shows, and that can supplement, like, when CollectCon's not in the area. But I don't think CollectCon should ever go fully corporate and completely eliminate the small vendor opportunity.
You never go full corporate.
Yes.
Nick was arguing for 2 hours that CollectCon needs to get bigger and push out small sellers. This change up is wild.
I never said I said small sellers need to make more money so they can afford tables.
Quit being broke. He hit him with the quit being broke. I like it. Yeah, and I think
that's the other thing is people need to stop lying and actually be truthful. That was the other thing this weekend is everyone, when you go up to any table, yes, how's the show going? And it's like everyone's saying, oh, it's decent, or it's been better. And it's like, you're not having a decent show at Collecticon. There's nobody that's having a slow show there. Everyone, I feel like unless you have your stuff stickered at like double market, you're going to kill it there. But nobody wants to admit that they're doing well.
You know why? Because all the vendor POVs are listening, and they're worried that they're being AI fed into the IRS. That's what it is. But I think there's so many models. There's so many models for rewarding history. They can reward people who vended with them in the past. They can make it where, like, you're grandfathered into some better rate or some VIP system where if you vended X amount, you're able to get the tables first. They're able to say they want 50% of the tables. to be by people that have that are local to the area, because you do have your Bulba stores and you have your Jar Chomps and you have your people that go to most of the shows or a lot of the shows and they fly around the country. I would love to know the data. Like if we ever had the Collecticon brothers on here, one bit of data I would ask is like, one, for the vendors, do you have an idea on geographically what percent of them come from within 500 miles of the show versus what percent, or 200 miles, whatever the number is. And then for attendees, I think a lot of people in this space, a lot of people that watch Pokeflipz, they're the kind of people that will fly to a Collecticon. They will fly across the country. They will go to a show. We're like the exception. I think the majority of foot traffic, the vast majority of foot traffic especially, are people that are local that just go. And vendors, you do have more travel than attendees, I believe. But yeah, like when I go to Denver Collecticon and we're at Swami's, I look around the room at Swami's, 90% of the people flew there. They traveled in. And then you go to Chicago and like a lot of people drove from afar. Like that's the exception. The majority of people I think are coming from within a couple hundred miles. Having data like that would be so cool and interesting. And say that 50% of your vendors are from within 200 miles at most of your shows. Have some tiered thing where you're assuring that you're maintaining that. Have a thing where you're assuring, if you want it to be that way, if you want it to not get turned into this big national thing where only the big brands go and they fly in from all over, like you could just allocate a certain amount of tables that are going to be sold at a price and in a way that ensures they get to the local people. There's so many different things that they can do, and it'll be interesting to see which routes they go. I have no clue.
It will be interesting. It will be interesting.
For sure. A big jump, but they would need small sellers if they went corporate enough to say get a pop-up Pokemon Center, other TCGs pop up at a show. Oh, would they need small vendors? No, that's the thing. Like, yeah, if they want to go like whale hunting, maybe they get imagine that. Like Pokemon sets up a shop at Worlds every year. Imagine a Pokemon Center pop-up. Like bulldoze 20 of the sections and turn it into a 20-section mega section for Pokemon. Put it in the back corner. So they
wild.
Imagine getting, and will Pokemon do that with like no clue whatsoever? But who knows? Who knows what could happen out there? Imagine getting some kind of exclusive promo, and maybe it won't be Pokemon. Maybe they do it with Yu-Gi-Oh, with One Piece, with Arcana, with whoever. Maybe MetaZoo.
Oh God.
There's history there. There's history. MetaZoo made Collecticon what it is. MetaZoo was a core part to its growth. But yeah, there's so many opportunities. Like who the hell knows what's going to happen? But I'm excited to follow along. And this year, I might only go to one Collecticon. There's so many other great events. I went to the local event. I'm going to go to Fanatics Fest. I'm going to try to make a front row at some point. I've been to a card party. Like what a great problem that we have, that there's like too many of these shows for us to attend them all. It's wild out here. We're booming.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, do we know anything about the Field Museum? Have they announced any promos or anything? I don't think they have.
I'm aware that it's happening in Chicago
next week. I think it's next week.
It's that soon? Yeah, I don't know anything. Maybe somebody in chat will know. Let us know if you guys do.
We need another gray felt hat Pikachu for the Field Museum.
MetaZoo hasn't been at every Collecticon. Were they at Chicago? I think they've only done a few recently. I'm not entirely sure though.
I didn't get to walk around that much.
Nick, you
I will say though, the eBay booth there was a little disappointing. They had streams there throughout the weekend for like eBay Live, but like, so eBay Live has this really nice like Airstream trailer set up for streaming. It looks sick, and I don't know why they didn't bring that. Instead, they just had like, they didn't even have like their normal like pop up like area. It was just like regular vendor tables with a camera set up. I don't know why they don't do Collecticon bigger. Because like for Card Party, they'll have the whole setup, I'm sure, with the Airstream trailer and all that. I don't know why they don't do Collecticon bigger. I think that would be a really good opportunity for them.
John wants to know. He wants a number put on it, Nick.
I think it was 1,200.
I was ready for 1,000 to follow that. I was going to ask you how many gray felt hats did we lose? How many gray felt hats? So not even half a gray felt hat. Who cares? What are we talking about? That's nothing. That's a rounding error. So I think I covered all the Collecticon type questions. We'll take more if we get them in the future, but we'll pivot out of that segment. What is your preferred method for opening packs? I don't know what this means exactly.
I don't know.
Is that asking like from a booster box versus an ETB versus a tin? I know there's a lot of people with like all the tinfoil hat conspiracies about like better rates out of 3-pack blisters, and I don't know if that's what you mean, Ghettoed. To me, I don't buy into any of that. So like a pack is a pack, regardless of what it came from, as long as it wasn't weighed or CT scanned or piped or whatever the crazy things the kids are doing these days. I actually have a pack next to me. Oh, this pack actually came. It came opened on the side like that. Like the cards are busted out of the side of it. My sister was breaking down collection, but I think it was first partner packs. In one of them, the cards were just straight from distro, first partner packs. They were opened out of the side, and it had a hit too, a Mega Absol.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, I've never seen them. I've seen where the top or the bottom wasn't sealed all the way. Maybe the cards got partially crimped or whatever, but I've never seen where the side was blown out like that. That was a new one. Are prismatic bundles really $100?
That's wild if that's the case. I just bought them at the show last weekend.
What were you paying?
I paid $70 each, which was more than I wanted to pay.
I was gonna say, if you paid $70, they must be 80 something.
They were like 85, 82, holy 85 at the time.
Crap. Oh my god, this is insane.
Is it?
Let me see. Look at this.
Jeez.
I forget how many cases of these I got, but like the 25 count cases from Distro, we just got restocked these from Distro. Holy crap. I forget what they even charged me, but yeah, they were 66 in January. I bought a lot in recent collections. I'm not surprised that they're 100 someday, but 100 already, damn near. 98 most recent sale. Wild. 98 market price.
Celebrations is $40 a pack. Did
somebody just say that?
Grimer just said that. I'm gonna retire now.
How many of those do you have set back? I've been selling mine.
I've what do I have? A
few thousand.
3,500 or 4,000.
We are booming. I see
3,500.
I see most recent sales $37.49 on Celebrations booster packs. That's $10 a card.
Wild.
That's $10 a card.
Jeez.
That's
so.
It's funny because before we went live, Nick and I were talking, and I said something to the tune of like, "We're booming, and people don't understand the extent to which we're booming." And then I'm being told all these prices where I did not realize the extent to which we're booming. How ironic. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane.
That's nice. I didn't know they were that high. I thought they were still like 25.
I don't have 1,000 packs left. I probably have 500 to 1,000 somewhere in there. I guess I don't know what that's what I have here. I'm gonna look at my inventory quick and see what Ponga and PK have. I don't think much though. We don't sell a whole lot of it. Yeah, they only have a few hundred total. We've only sold 72 this year.
I can believe it. Has your 151 and Crown Zenith slowed down?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, Crown, we've only sold a couple hundred packs this year. But Ascended is flying. Prismatic is second, a long ways back. And then you've got like Destined and Phantasmal, third and fourth. And then I think
Ascended is the new one. That's
Black Bolt is our fifth.
Do very well.
Is Black Bolt in your top 5?
Are you having a hard time keeping like black and white in stock?
Yes.
It's tough.
It is. I would not be surprised if those performed really well. I wouldn't be surprised if those didn't get a reprint, or at least not nearly as extensive as a lot of the other sets. But like that said, I don't have some massive position of them. PK and Ponga are running on fumes as they have been. The reason that they're running on fumes is because I'm running on fumes. I would send them more if I had more, but I've been hot buy listing it lately, especially Black Bolt more than White Flare. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot as far as they go. Hopefully we get restocks on some distro product, but probably not enough.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is wild.
Radar said, I can't believe it's still going. I sold to the boom a year and a half ago. Yeah, this is why I created the pellets. Like if the pellets didn't exist, I would have not panic sold, but I would have sold everything on them by now. All my 151 would be gone. I would have sold almost all of it because I don't believe in the prices largely. I think it's too much too soon, almost across the board. And but that is literally why. Like I can't wait. When I make the new palette video, I'm gonna first go back and re-listen to the first one, re-listen to the second one. I'm gonna re-listen to all of them, and then I'll record the newest one, the 2-year birthday one. And I knew that some part inside of me, which has been the case straight for the past 12 years, I'm too bearish. I like long term. I think good things are gonna happen. But the things I think are going to happen in 10 or 15 or 20 years happen in 2, 3, or 5 years. So that is why I have 0 cases of XY product left. That is why I have 0 cases of Sun and Moon era product left. That is why I created the palettes. I am forcing myself. Like in 10 years, I will have some amount of Sword Shield. Maybe it's only a couple cases, but it's a couple cases more than if the palettes didn't exist.
Yeah.
We are early. We might be. We probably are, but also maybe not. But also, who cares? It was funny. I like the Off-Center podcast a lot. I'm cutting down my YouTube content consumption a lot. But I think, especially since they're not weekly, especially since they miss some weeks here and there, which helps me keep up on them. Our favorite inconsistent podcast that we have, all of them out there. I think it's one that I'm going to listen to all of them always. It's always funny when Mason and Thrifty and John start saying like, yeah, just like somebody was talking about having 80% of their net worth in Ascended Heroes or Prismatic Evolutions. And it's funny because the same person asked the same question in my live. And then they asked it. I don't know where they did it first. We were live at the same time. We overlapped a little bit. But they asked us both. Maybe they asked us both at the same time. Maybe they had 2 screens going. I don't know. But me and Squeaks were pretty similar. We were like, that's a lot. That's risky. And eventually Squeaks talked to the other 3. But the other 3, their initial thing was like, worst case, 3 years, 5 years. It's got to go higher. Like, no, not necessarily. Probably yes. But like this dude's talking about 80% of his net worth. Like, what are we talking about? It's scary. I'm not scared for me, and everyone's adult, so like I'm not actually that scared for everyone else. But I don't want people to lose a lot of money. And last time they did, and they probably will this time. But who knows? Who cares? It is what it is. It's interesting to follow along with always.
It is. Benji's got it. They should have had 100% of their net worth.
I mean, I know people who have infinity% of their net worth because they have 50 grand in Pokemon with a negative $100,000 net worth. Like that's not, now we're talking. Credit cards maxed out, line of credit, all the leverage they can think of. Yeah, I mean, there are people with over 100% of their net worth because They have zero or negative net worth, and they have tens of thousands, 100,000 in Pokemon. It's crazy.
That is wild.
Thoughts on recent claims that PSA is not handing out as many 10s lately? Does this change the calculus for what to send them versus CGC, for example? You want to go first, Nick? This is one of the questions that, like, going back earlier, the questions that I don't like getting. Let me see if I can find.
I guess it's different because you go live every week. I only do the Pokeflipz.
Yeah.
I don't think we see as many of these types of questions. I would say yes. It is. I would say it's true. PSA has gotten stricter. People aren't getting as many 10s. You're getting more 8s, 7s, 9s. So I do buy that. But you're still PSA is still number one. They're by far number one. I wouldn't change anything. I would just keep doing what you do. For me, I've been doing a lot more CGC, and I've been doing that for years, and it's just becoming more and more CGC as PSA gets stricter. They raise their pricing. They take longer to turn around cards. I think I haven't done a PSA submission in forever at this point. I just go all CGC, but then at the same time, I'm more so catering to like eBay Live, which is like lower end cards. So it doesn't make as much sense to pay the $25 you got to pay to grade a card with PSA. So yeah, I'm all on board with CGC.
I hate how frequently we're getting new and losing old data platforms. Like I tried pulling up Pokemetrics, which used to be my go-to spot. But like people would say that PSA was grading harsher, and then I'd pull up the data and it's like, no, 50% of Pokemon cards are still PSA 10s. Are more Japanese being graded? Are more modern cards being graded that are skewing that? Absolutely. But I've seen 16 PSA 10s that would have been 8s, 9s in the 2-star era, 4-star era, like consistently inconsistent, blah, 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 all the things. They're just as terrible of a grading card company as they were 12 years ago. I think like they have a financial incentive to give you the grade. And they still do it from time to time. There are still very weak cards being graded 10s. I base my calculus around what to send them versus CGC. I send 90% of what I send to CGC because I have the rates with CGC. I do the $8.50 CGC Fanatics grading. That's the vast majority of what I do. I do play the game though. I do send direct submissions to PSA from time to time. Sometimes I do them through Fanatics, but it's just it's straight gambling. I think you can still make it plus EV if you do it right. But I just like the speed. I like the nimbleness. I like the hands-off nature of the CGC Fanatics. So I lean into that a lot heavier. But I promise they're grading ugly, horrific 10s every day. They always will. They kind of suck at grading relative to how we value them as a market, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah. And that's true for all of them.
Yeah, it was asked about PSA, but CGC BGS, absolutely. I've cracked out new label CGC 8s, and I've gotten pristines, and I've cracked out Gem Mint 10s with CGC and gotten Gem Mint 10s at PSA. I've cracked out CGC 9s and gotten PSA 10s. Like literally every card can be any grade from 1 to 10 with every grading card company. It most of the time, 95% of the time, it's within plus or minus 1 grade of what it should be. But these companies all suck, to be honest with you. Tag included. The robots are not, they don't know what's up either.
No.
What percentage of your sales are outside the US? Nearly 0, because eBay and Fanatics don't sell on live outside of the US, and so much of my sales, I guess collect. I don't have insight into who my buyers are. So there could be a large portion of my buyers on collect that are international, but I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I think it's similar. I'd say 95% is within the US, and then maybe 5% outside the US. But yeah, vast majority within the US.
Oh, there's another one too. Has PSA gotten stricter on grades?
Yes.
Yes, but they have so much inconsistency that you can still get 10s on very ugly cards. It's all a numbers game. It's all a joke. Buy the card and the grade, blah, 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 all the stupid things. Grading, it is lunacy how we as a market value grading. Use that to your advantage. Take money from all the crazies. That's what I've done for the past 12 years. It's, yeah, it is what it is. Oh, we did that one. Do you think Paldean Fates will be reprinted? Yes.
Really? Oh,
I'm saying yes, but like I have no clue. Like,
isn't that one of the sets out of rotation?
I don't know.
Or did it stop it? Because it was 151 Paradox and then Paldean.
Oh,
so maybe it just made the cut.
It is 2 years old already. It was January 24. I thought it would have been like June-ish. I thought it was coming up on 2 years, but it's over 2. But like, nobody knows. Nobody knows. If it's in or out of rotation, I think matters to some extent, but I don't think that's like gospel. I don't think that guarantees that it won't be reprinted if it's out of rotation. But this is the thing that I say. People care way too much about individual things. Like I was wrong a year ago when I said I think Destin in the next year will go under MSRP. I was wrong, right?
You're already admitting you're wrong?
Well, I was wrong so far. Like I could still end up being right, but it's significantly less likely. The percentage is way lower now. But like people care so much. I don't give an F. If Destin Rivals is $100 a pack tomorrow, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy it for 80 and sell it for 100. I don't care. Like Celebrations is 40 now. Great. I've got 500 of them. I made 20 grand. I made 15, whatever it is. Great. But if I want more, I'll buy them at 80% and I'll sell them at 100%. I don't care. And my thesis was that it wouldn't get reprinted and I thought things would perform better anyways. But I was buying $9 151 a year ago instead of $250 Destin Rivals.
Mm-hmm.
I did better. Like again, I think Paldean Fates will be reprinted again. I could be wrong. I could miss out not going and buying 1,000 packs out of Paldean Fates today as we speak. But you know what? The things that I'm buying, I think will do better than having put an additional 100 or 1,000 or 5,000 packs of Paldean Fates. Because if and when it doesn't get reprinted, I'll just buy them at the new higher price and sell them at the higher percent. Like, I don't care. Sure, I want to have more of the things that are lower, that are going to go higher, that are going to go higher faster. But people stress and think about it all way too much, I think. If you're someone who only buys and never sells and doesn't flip, like I guess it makes sense to care more. But like when you're caring about things that you have no knowledge and no control over, you're just guessing. And in the long run, like you're going to get some right and some wrong, and you're not going to be any better for it. That's my take though. But do you think it will be reprinted? And what are you doing because of that? Like, are you panic buying a ton of Paldean Fates because it's not getting reprinted?
No, I don't think it will get reprinted because it is at that.
It's already $20 a pack.
I know. It's the one set that I don't have. I've got the what's it called, the booster bundle display case. I've got one of those set back, and that is it. It's the one Scarlet and Violet set I don't have anything of. But yeah, I'm not buying any. But yeah, I do think I can't see them reprinting that one.
And let me just, because we're live and I need to do it more than I do it, but let me pull it up. I think I was actually surprised to see that it's 20. And I was about to say, like, maybe I really missed out. But all things considered, a year ago it was 10. I was buying 151 a year ago for 9. So like I probably would have been buying it for the same $8 to $9 that I was buying 151 for. And 151's outperformed it. So like I don't think I missed out in any regard. I think not buying it today, I don't think I'll be missing out. I think it will probably go up in the next year, whether it gets reprinted or not. It will go up to some amount from where it is now. But I think I'm going to be buying things that are going to do better. But you're not going to time all the tops. You're not going to time all the bottoms. You're not going to have infinitely amounts of everything that doubles and triples and 5Xs. And I think people, and I'm not saying this about Ancient Mew. I'm not saying this about anyone in particular. But I think some people just get so like lost in, oh my God, this thing doubled and I didn't have any of it. Most of what you had was 151 and that tripled. Like what the hell?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Why are you getting FOMO about a thing that you beat? Like the single biggest thing that I added on that in the 3 months between March and June of last year, all my videos, all my live streams, everything is there. Go check it out. All my hot buy lists are there on my Instagram. $9 151 I was adding for like 6 months straight. I think I was buying 151 at $9 from like from January of 25 until like June or July of 25, and then it started rocketing off and I started buying it slower. But I'm still buying 151 today. I'm selling some at full market plus a little markup, and then I'm buying some at 80%, as I always do. I love all this stuff, but I don't need any of it. And I think too many people too frequently like need things. And that's just that's super negative EV to feel FOMO and to feel like you need this set, that set. I'm actually going to pull this up. Oops. Why am I on the wrong one? Let me stop that share and share again.
Ancient Mew, I gotta disagree with you. Paldean Fates is the best shiny set. It goes Paldean Fates, then Hidden Fates, then Shining Fates.
I was buying 151 for $9.25 a pack at the same time. Let's see if we can actually find a Paldean Fates here. Right there, $9.50 a pack.
Yeah.
So I was buying 151 less than 9 months ago, actually about 9 months ago, for like, yeah, I don't feel like, do parts of me wish that I had more Paldean Fates? Yes, because number go up and oh dang, I don't have a lot and number went up. Well, the biggest thing that I added on that, and let's see, just so you know that I'm not making numbers up. Like my memory is not perfect. I never intentionally say the wrong dates, the wrong data. Sometimes I'm way off when I say something, but I'm usually pretty damn close. I was buying Prismatic for $9 in July of 2025. So these 3 packs, 151 was the clear winner by far. Like I still needed these for the streams. I don't regret having bought any of them for the streams, but this was the winner by far. Yeah, look at Crown Zenith. I was buying for $9.50 in July. Let's see what I was buying it back in. People don't believe me when I say this. I stopped buying Crown Zenith at $6 because I got so many in February. Let's go back to January because it was like $4 a pack. Wait, how do we go back? Why are we going up? I think I didn't start the hot buy list until about February. This might have been my first hot buy list ever. No, maybe this one. Anyways, in this time frame, maybe it wasn't on my hot buy list, but I was buying Crown Zenith in this time frame for $4 a pack. Sometimes as low as I got it as low as $3.50 a couple times.
But anyways, looking at it, the Fusion has done so bad.
Yeah.
Compared to everything else, Fusion Strike is just, I don't know why. It just does not want to go up in value.
I could be wrong here, but like I think Sword Shield is gonna pop at some point. I think at some point it's gonna do the things that like X, Y, and Sun and Moon did. Like, oh my, like these things are stagnant for so long and they're not doing much and poking it with a stick and why isn't it moving? And then whether it's 6 months or a year or 3 years and I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I have a lot of stuff that I've been adding over the past 6 months that in times where certain things are up 20, 30, 50%, like a lot of my Sword Shield's pretty flat, but that makes me want it more. That makes me want it more because I think it's largely irrational. But yeah, like I was buying it in July. I was buying it in January for $8.30 a pack. So between January and July, 6 month period, it went up 70 cents a pack in what I was paying for it. And then out of nowhere, well, like I think Sword Shield, not all of it, some of it, but I think some of it is just gonna like seemingly overnight. Some of the boxes will double. But is that going to be a year from now, 5 years from now? I have no clue. It'll probably be like next Tuesday, but we'll see.
Next Tuesday.
I wanted to start using StreamYard. Do I just create a login? Yeah, like sign up, create an account. You can do certain things for free. You'll have a duck up in the corner. I think I can actually show the duck. Where's the duck? You'll have the duck right there, up above Nick's head in the corner. I can hide it because I pay, but yeah, we've got. I don't know why I don't have that up there. I'm gonna leave that on now. I guess I turned it off for a live stream and I forgot. Too much branding with that.
Too much branding.
I'm leaving it. I like it. More branding. We need more branding. But yeah, and I think in our description, I think StreamYard automatically includes an affiliate link. So hey, you heard about StreamYard on Pokeflipz? Click that affiliate link, sign up, and we might get like $5 or something.
Ooh.
I'm going to ask this last question. PSA buying GameStop or GameStop buying PSA 2026, 2027? I'm out of started questions, so I need to start more questions. Take this, Nick, and then I'll catch up.
I think it's going to be GameStop buying PSA. I think that would happen. I can see that. I think PSA's business has grown so much because of GameStop. Obviously, they're both massive companies, but I think PSA has benefited more than GameStop, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think it'll be GameStop buying PSA at some point. I can 100% see it, and then GameStop becoming more of a like a national LGS. It'll be interesting. I can see it happening though. With how good they're doing with trading cards right now, it's got to happen at some point.
Yeah, I don't know if it had to happen one way. I would guess that it would happen that way as well. I think GameStop has a lot more money, dry powder, a lot more like cash than collectors, but I could be entirely wrong. I mean, you got a couple of billionaires there that might just have a few billion kicking around in $100 bills. So no clue whatsoever. I guess Celebrations is a little bit lower on eBay, and like whether it's actually 40 or not, like who knows? Marketplace does not exist. Blah 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 blah.
Take the one for you real quick. I gotta run real quick.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
I'll take this one. Alex PokeCR 1989 says, would a Pikachu Link from Zelda be the ultimate poncho? Donkey Kong poncho. I think the ultimate poncho, PK's talked about this a bunch. We've both been talking about it for a while. I think he was the one to bring it up first. But Super Smash Brothers themed. Like give me all of Nintendo. A Super Smash Brothers themed. Start out with N64, the best Smash. Hands down, the best Smash, N64. But do the Melee. Add in all the characters that Melee brought. Add in all the characters that Brawl brought. And imagine a Link and a Star Fox and a Samus and like all the properties. A Kirby Pikachu. Like all the properties that Nintendo has access to. Do Poncho Pikachus for that. That will be the best set of all time. Though the current best set of all time is Ascended. Yeah, like I don't care that all these grading card companies suck. They make me money, so like I continue using them. When I say they suck, it's like that's not an emotional statement whatsoever. I think that's just an objective statement of fact. Is that they're like way more inconsistent for how the market values them than my taste would allow for. But yeah, like I don't care. I grade with them more than I ever have, and I will continue to grade with them more than I ever have in the future, as long as they keep making me a lot of money. But yeah, this one that I took was what's your ultimate poncho collab? I just said like all of Smash Brothers. Give me all of them. Give me a Smash Brothers promo set like the one that PK talks about.
Hot take: Smash Brothers is a lame game.
Oh man,
it's
that's
so
too far,
dumb. It is the worst Mario game ever. I am not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. No, we need a Bowser Mario, Bowser Pikachu poncho. Bowser is by far the best Nintendo character. We need it. It is also a skill issue. I don't know how to play. I'm a button masher.
See, that's why I like N64 Smash and I don't like Melee and Brawl as much, because Melee and Brawl are so much faster. I don't feel like I can tell what I'm doing. I feel like I'm button mashing more with those games. Whereas with N64, I can consciously like do moves and like see what's happening and respond to the feedback. Melee is just too hectic.
Yeah.
Paldean Fates has 3 IRs. Yuck.
Oh, the IRs are awful. So bad.
I'm starting more questions. There's a lot of questions. Here we go, Nick. You said a lot of people ask how Nick, the market's booming. How's the boom going? Nick, how are you doing? Are you booming, Nick? How are you doing?
I appreciate the question, Evie. I am doing very good today. I am doing very good. Thank you for your concern about my well-being.
Ancient Mew asking questions that came from a 2022 time capsule. Absolutely. I'm almost fully caught up, I think. Smash 64 has hit stun, which lets you have combos. Yeah, I can tell what I'm doing in 64 Smash. It's probably like busted. I think Pikachu is far and away the best, and he's too good, and it's not as competitive for that reason. But N64 Smash is my game for sure. Grimer says he learned last night that apparently the Lopunny pack arts for Phantasmal have higher percent chance for Zards.
Oh, you know what someone said?
Is that a thing?
I don't believe it, but has anyone else heard? So like, this is a 151 pack, obviously. If you flip the flap, I don't know if you guys can even see it. Can you see like the M? There you go. It says M1 on that green thing right there. Someone said that means it's first print. I don't buy that because these came from like these packs would have came from like the Blooming Water, or not the Blooming Water. Yeah, what's the one? Blooming Waters collection box.
Blooming Waters, yeah.
And that was recent. I don't buy that. Does anyone else have any insight in that? Someone came in the live stream the other night and asked what the code was, and I've looked through a bunch of them, and every single one of them says M1. So I don't buy that. I don't think there are different codes.
I've never heard of that.
I'm curious if anyone else has heard that.
The only pack I have in front of me is Mega Evolution, and it has the M1. But I could look. I recently, like only a few months ago, I don't know if I could isolate which ones they were, but I got like 151 mini tins like 2 months ago. So that's why I say yes. And was that a reprint? Was that found stock? Like, I don't know. I don't care. People get so caught up in all that stuff. Like, I have no control. I don't know. I don't care. But that's part of why I say like Paldean Fates could be reprinted. I don't know. If it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. But yeah, that's how did you learn this last night? You heard that someone was speculating that. Do they have data to support that? I think the pull rates on these things are so hard that you would need so much data to try to like get any kind of a statistical significance around that theory. I'm very skeptical at first glance.
I don't buy it. It's the same because John pulled his Charizard out of a Venusaur pack art. Now all Charizards come out of Venusaur pack arts.
Yep. It's one of those things that when you see it happen that confirms your bias, you remember those. And when it doesn't confirm your bias, you just conveniently forget about those ones. And that's a scary thing about human ability to just only take in things that confirm their preconceived notions.
Yeah.
Do people ask you to coin flip on deals often when vending, or do those creators get a lot of those because they showcase themselves doing them?
Oh God, I hate this.
You're a gambler. You're a gambler.
No. There's already too much gambling in Pokemon.
Don't
add more gambling.
More.
No.
Nick, what you gotta do.
That is the worst trend that has started in Pokemon.
You got your thing. you've got your thing stickered for 120, you take 100, and then they ask you to flip 120 or 100. So like you either win or you win, because you like that's the trick behind those. So like do coin flips, but be the house. Set up so both outcomes you're winning. You're just winning more or winning less, or you're winning or breaking even. I'm all for that. I love that. I didn't have any offer to me at the local show. If I did, I 100% would have done them.
You're part of the problem. I had
the
people
solution.
come up asking for coin flips, and I said absolutely not.
I would do them every single time.
I hate it.
Would I do a 50K or a 0 on a 25K card? No, but would I do a 52K or 0 on a 25K card? Now we're talking. That's the biggest thing, is you can't do it one and done. You gotta do it over the long run. You gotta be the house. You might get beat on individual ones here and there, but no, like now being serious, I'm mostly memeing there, but not entirely. If it's like a kid, if it's someone, and I'm like, I don't know if this person's 18 or 21 or whatever, I would not do a flip with a kid or whatever. When I see those ones, it's like, the parents there, the parents nodding, whatever. But like, yuck. So I get it to an extent, but also I'm a DJ gambler, and I want to do the flips.
No. That's where I draw the line.
EXP Share said, told you prismatic packs $25 within a year. It might be. He
was right on Crown Zenith.
Yes, he was. Here's actually a good question. For Dan, why don't you have the same conviction for prismatic this year that you had for 151 last year? Are you not seeing a very similar opportunity? I mean, who said that I don't? What question have I answered in a way that would tell you that I don't have that conviction? I've bought a lot of prismatic booster bundles. I've bought quite a few prismatic ETBs. I've added, so not as drastically, and I'll tell you why. I've added more prismatic than anything else in the past 2 months on net, and I've added to the tune of thousands of packs. Part of the reason that it's not as much, I'm not quite as liquid currently as we speak as I was a year ago when I was buying 151. I've been taking down massive collections lately. I had to lower my percentages across the board to 80% because I couldn't keep up with everything that I was getting offered at 85%. So part of it's like a liquidity cash flow thing. But I'm adding against like my better judgment, against my desires. I'm adding some prismatic to the pallets at current prices. I thought I was going to be able to get more of it cheaper. I did get a lot of it cheaper, but not as much as I had hoped for. But it is what it is. Like I'm going to start adding more regularly at whatever the prices are. And if and when they go lower, I'll add a lot more. And if and when they start to drift higher sooner than I would like, I will add less. Like, but yeah, prismatic evolutions, loose packs, bundles, ETBs, they're the biggest single thing that I've added in the past couple of months on net, more than anything else. So it's always interesting to get like to hear people's questions framed around a false reality, and I don't know really what led to this false reality. I don't know. Like now I will say two things. I bought a lot of prismatic in the past 2 months. I don't like the prices that I'm buying the prismatic at. I don't. But like it, relatively speaking to everything else, 151 stood out like a sore thumb. Prismatic doesn't stand out that much more than like Sword Shield does. I in a lot of ways I like Sword Shield better, but I'm forcing myself to buy some prismatic. I like 151 better as a set. I think 151 is an S tier set. I think prismatic is an A tier set. So those are some of the reasons why that's peeling the secrecy back on what I'm doing and why. And I wish people would ask, like, Dan, what's the biggest thing you've bought in the past month? Like, what is the biggest things that you've added on that in the past months? People don't ask that question. People hear what I say on other questions and then assume things incorrectly oftentimes. And I don't understand why. And I'm not meaning for all this to fall on you, Mega Super Leaf, but like, I don't entirely know where that assumption came from. But yeah, I like it. I don't love it. I'm forcing myself to buy it because it will probably do stupid numbers. That's where I'm at with prismatic.
I'm the same way. I don't like it as a set. I think it's an awful set. It's not a fun opening. The Evolution SIRs look awful. I don't like it at all, but it is a very popular set. So it will do well. But that's for me. I went more into 151 because I actually like 151. Whereas Prismatic, I just don't like it.
And hot take, teach kids to gamble early. EXP Share Video Game says, I've dumped heavy into Prismatic this month and I'm about to add more. See, I like, if the right opportunity comes up, if somebody offers me a bunch and I can get it at 80-85%, like I probably would buy a lot more. I'm not falling over myself to get it. I don't think I've had it on my hot buy list for the past couple of weeks. But yeah, I've everything I got with the reprint, all the booster bundles I got reprinted, kept them all. I bought some from the open market. Additionally, all my ETBs I got, sealed cases, all of them kept from the reprint. Added some from the open market. Selling all the loose ones because I only like to deal with cases. But it's funny how, like, I'm here. I'm live every week. And people can ask me anything they want every week. And yet people still misinterpret things that I say. And people don't ask me questions and make assumptions. Like, ask me. Ask me, what's the biggest thing you've bought on net in the past 2 months? Prismatic Evolutions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally here. Don't make false assumptions. Ask the questions. Let's see. If you have less than 80% of net worth in Prismatic, you're a bear. A gross bear. Yeah, a lot of the cards ultimately are going into your instant rips, into your power packs, into your all these digital rips for sure. And how that will pan out over time, who knows? How's it going, Charlie? Nice to see you. Room for one more washed up old fogey in this chat. Always. Always love to hear from Charlie. I misinterpret it on purpose to drive comment engagement. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Charlie, for the engagement. It does work well. It does get me fired up too. So if you're doing that strategically, I applaud and thank you. Alex says Sumbrion PSA 10 prices surpassed Moonbryon PSA 10. There's like 4 times more Moonbryons than Sumbrions. Gem rate for Moonbryon is more than double the Sumbrion. Do you think Moonbryon will catch up again? No.
Really?
I think Moonbryon, and mind you, keep context. I said this years ago when it was $1,000 PSA 10. I think it will age poorly. I think there will be.
Really?
Clearly, I've been wrong thus far. It's 4X'd. It's not aged poorly. But I think it's going to age poorly, holding that over the long term relative to a lot of other things. It's done way less than 151 did in the same time. It's done way less than Crown Zenith's done in the same time. Like, it has been outperformed by a lot of things that I've held, but it's also simultaneously outperformed a lot of other things that I held. But I think it's going to age poorly. It's got greater than 10,000 cards, and I don't care how good they are, and I don't care that it's the card of a generated ball. Like, I don't care about all these things. It might age well, but I don't think it will. And like, there's going to be the Sumbrion, and there's going to be the Mars Bryon, and there's going to be the Pluto Bryon, and there's going to be like all these different things. That's the issue. Like, a lot of cards, graded cards especially, part of the underlying issue I have with graded cards is I just fundamentally don't agree with the obscene multipliers that we as a hobby attribute to the cards. So like, I use grading as a business to like make more money on my inventory, but I do not speculate over the long term substantially on graded card premiums. That's what I mean when I say short plastic, long cardboard. I sell my slabs, I buy sealed, I buy cards, I sell labels. I buy cards, I sell labels. I buy sealed, I sell labels.
I disagree. I think a big part of it is just because Prismatic is so much newer than Evolving Skies. Like, it would be interesting to see like the pop growth. Like, where are we at from when Evolving Skies was as old as Prismatic? Are we similar numbers? Are we lower? I don't know if there's any way to figure that out, but I think it's because Prismatic is so much newer than Evolving Skies. That's why the pop is is so much different. I think the Moonbryon, it's got so much history behind it. It's the card from the Sword and Shield era. We had the first boom of 2020 happen right around the time of Evolving Skies. There's just so much history behind it that I think the Moonbryon is one that you have to have. I'm shilling it because I recently picked one up. I had to have that card in my own collection. I don't necessarily like the card. I like the Umbreon V better than the VMAX. I think it's a good card, but it's not a great card. But because of how much people talk about it and the hype behind it, I think long term it's going to do really, really well.
Yeah, and again, this falls into the category of like I don't know and I don't care. For all I know, the Moonbryon could outperform the Umbreon from here. I'm not invested in either. Will I buy them at a lower percentage to sell them at a higher percentage in the coming years and decades? Them and every other graded card there is, absolutely. But like I don't hold any. I'm not going to hold any long term. I think there's going to be someday. I think inevitably there will be serialized Pokemon, and I think a lot of these cards are just going to have to compete with newer, shinier, flashier artworks. And yeah,
What would you buy? Same. You have to buy one. You can't sell it for 10 years. They're the same price. Are you buying the Sunbryon or the Moonbryon? Black Label.
Oh God. Probably.
Which one's going to be a better investment?
Sunbryon, because there's probably going to be so many less of them. I like people, the brainless people always say pop doesn't matter, and I understand what they're trying to say, but what they're saying, the words they say make no sense whatsoever. But like again, this is not like a massive thing. I think people like overreact so drastically, so emotionally when someone says something that doesn't align with what they think. Like I'm saying this, caring not at all, being invested not at all. I'm saying this with the position that the average person asked me, is Destined Rivals a good investment last May? Well, when I was fighting off all those people in YouTube chat saying that I didn't think it was a good investment, and people were being appalled by my answer, the average holder of 1 and 2 booster boxes. Like I say this with no skin in the game. I don't care. I don't know. But I just think a lot of these high pop cards are going to age quite poorly. Like what's Hidden Fate's Charizard doing? That was the card of a generation. I myself caught myself saying that Hidden Fates is one of the best sets of all time, and then it went on to stagnate for 4 years straight. It would have been a terrible investment. I did have some that I kind of like dipped out of after a year or so because they were just flat for so long. I think cards like Moonbryon, and again, I said this back at 1,000, maybe under 1,000. I said this. I think that card will just be flat for a long time, slightly down to the right. I don't think that will grow solidly over time. Like, do you think that? I think the hobby as a whole, a lot of sealed product, a lot of the better stuff. I think the hobby could a lot of the investments within the hobby could double every 5 years. Doubling every 5 years, that's like a 14% rate of return. We've been destroying that the past few years, right? 14%, that's like laughable. That's laughably low. A lot of people would say. I don't think the Moonbryon will double every 5 years. In 20 years, that's 4 doublings. Do you think the Moonbryon in 20 years will be a $25,000 card? Adjusted for inflation, maybe a $50,000 card?
I think long term it's going to be the card people remember. I don't think people are gonna remember the Sunbryon as much as the Moonbryon.
It has a song from Jason Page. What are we talking about?
God.
I've not heard a Moonbryon song, Nick. Collecticon just got bought. Jason Page is going to be 24/7, 365, singing Go, Pokemon Go, and singing Sunbryon all around the world. I think it's early. Now that I think about it, I might have to put some Sunbryons on the palette. Collecticon just got bought. Jason Page is going worldwide, baby. Come on, what are we talking about? What are we talking about here? No, I don't know, but like I think there are things that in 20 years will be 20x. I don't think the Moonbryon's one of them. I don't think the Gray Felt Hat is one of them. But I could be wrong, and I don't care. Like, I'll buy Moonbryons in 20 years if they're 50 grand. I'll buy them for $45,000. I'll sell them on a mega stream started at $1. tune into PK Ponga or PK or Ponga's grandkids or whoever. Somebody under the Ketchum All Collectibles will be selling $45,000, $50,000 Moonbreons if and when they're that much money.
It'll be interesting. It will be interesting.
You can't have Nick. The moon only shines because the sun exists. We only see the moon because it reflects the sun's light. The sun has fundamentals. The moon is just a leech. This is Nick. You guys in chat, you guys all have feelings. I have cold, hard facts and data. The moon is nothing without the sun. We wouldn't even see it.
No, I'm not buying it. Not buying it.
Nick, you don't even think we went to the moon. What are we talking about here? Oh God, I had to do it. I had to do it.
Oh.
Is the real recession coming to Pokemon? The receding hairlines. Yes. Every dollar of GMV, I lose another hair follicle, and boy, I am not bullish on my hairline.
No.
Lot of people Moonbreon all day. Long term, do you like booster bundles because they let you cost average into packs at the lowest possible entry with no booster boxes, or do ETBs win a superior sealed collectible? I'm doing both. I said a couple years ago when I was doing the pals that I didn't have room for air. I really don't today have room for air, but I'm expanding my storage capacity in the next couple of months. So I'm gonna have a lot more room for air. And I'm gonna consistently add both ETBs and bundles because I'm a fence sitter and I don't know which one's better. I don't love either of them. I love booster boxes because they're just tight and concise. And I still am waiting. I'm still waiting for the Gaylord configuration. Give me 20,000 booster packs in a pallet Gaylord, and that will be my investment vessel of choice.
I don't get who came up with that. That's such a weird word. But I don't booster bundles were I don't like the different sizes. Did you notice with Ascended they changed the size of booster bundles? They're now taller. They're a little bit taller.
I hate that shit. Back when I used to collect every ETB, PC ETBs made me stop collecting ETBs. I hate variants. I hate additional clutter. Crown Zenith has the square ones. Then you've got the other, like, I hate all the configurations, all the styles of booster bundles. If I had a master booster bundle collection and I had the stupid squares and the rectangles and the different, that stuff drives me mad.
I'm the same way. That's why I don't like booster bundles, is because you already have 3 different size booster bundles. ETBs, yes, you have like the specialty ETB, like the Sword and Shield ETB pluses that are a little bit bigger, but for the most part, ETBs have always remained consistent size. I think they look the best. The booster bundles, they're small, confined to the point. But I think for display purposes, keeping them sealed, I think ETBs are still the way to go. I do think ETBs still look the best, especially in this mega era. Booster boxes look awful, but at least the ETBs, they actually look good still. So if you're talking like people keeping sealed collections, I think ETBs are always the way to go.
Ghettoed wanted to know, like, physically on like, I don't stream, so I open by hand the 20 packs that I open every time a new set comes out. You don't cut the tops, right? You just open them from the top and slide them out, or do you rip it all the way down the seam?
I just rip it all the way down the seam. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like cutting them takes more time. Because they're easy enough to open. The Japanese packs are a little bit more tough to open than English packs, but they're still easy. I think cutting them open is a waste. Unless you want to like save the pack wrappers, then yeah, it looks cleaner if you cut them. But if you're just opening packs, it's so much quicker just to open them normally.
Yeah. And this is like the consideration of the current era that we're in. A lot of entry points are significantly higher than they were historically. If you wanted Crown, you could have had all you wanted. You could have had 100,000 loose packs of Crown for under $5 a pack. Confidently, I can say that because I personally added nearly 20,000 packs at under $4 a pack, and there were a lot of them I turned down. So like, how much of today's gains are just being pulled forward into year one, and will they get those ROIs over the coming decade, 2 decades? Nobody knows. People have their suspicions. People have their theories. A lot of people just have blind, irrational exuberance. But we'll see what happens over the long run. But as I said, I am short on plastic. I'm short on the irrational secondary market values that we ascribe to these trading cards in plastic. But that said, it probably won't change anytime soon. I'm a strange guy in a lot of ways, and I think I'm strange for not just falling over myself to like get the highest grade at the massive premium. And I think my science brain, I think my, like, when I see a measurement, when I see a scale of 10, 1 to 10, especially the 1 to 1,000 joke of a scale that Tag has, when I see a measurement, I want to see reproducibility. I want to see consistency. I want to see accuracy and precision. None of those, to the extent that I would desire them to be, are had by any of the graders out there. And none of them ever will. Like, I am fully capable of knowing what I like in the condition of a card. So I look at it and I look for cards that have the attributes that I value. There's no grading card company that like matches me perfectly in what I value. And then even the things that I do value, the market just values them so much more than I do. Somehow I got there on this comment, but
yeah, we're talking about 2 sets. Nothing to do with grading. You just
somehow
really want to keep that grading topic.
I just had that one stuck there. I don't remember, as crazy as this is to say, somewhere between 500 and 1,000. I know that I bought 1,500-ish, but 500 were for someone else. And maybe I bought closer to 2,000. I've graded hundreds already. I sent a bunch raw to PK and Ponga. I sent some sealed packs to PK and Ponga. I could have between 500 and 1,000 sealed currently. I don't remember, though. I'm going to add some to the pallets, though, too. I'm going to add some 5-10 years, see what happens.
Are you going to add the boxes or just the packs?
A little bit of both.
The boxes will have a premium?
I only have like 12 sealed cases even left. I'll probably add 6 of them or 12 of them to the pallet. Maybe I'll add all of them to the pallet. But I'm going to add some sealed packs, too.
Yeah.
I could see them. I could see him having a premium, but look at a pretty decent analog, I think, is the mythical pin collections. Most of the mythical pin collections don't have very much of a premium over just the promo and the packs.
Yeah. Yeah, I broke all mine down. I did keep what?
Oh, the boxes. I thought you meant
the
boxes.
Packs. I did keep some packs sealed to set back. Because I think once we get like the other series, I think having a whole set of the series packs is going to be good. Because the pack arts look cool. For a pack collector, I think it's a cool little pack collection type thing. Tricky learn horse.
Charlie with some lore, with some Nick lore.
Oh God.
Every time I'm thinking I'm going to sell, I look up and the value of my PC has gone up 3 to 5x. Should I just sell right before I think it's an emote that didn't come through StreamYard to make sure I don't sell too soon.
You don't see that?
It's a what?
It's a tombstone.
Oh, I see. Like, look at on the screen. It shows that as a box.
It's got the curved circle. It's gray.
On the screen?
Yeah.
On the screen, I just see the box.
Really? I'll see a picture.
Is my StreamYard messing with me? I'm gonna pull it up on YouTube right now.
Yeah, I'm looking on StreamYard. It's showing me. I'll send you a picture of it.
Oh, that's weird. It's on the broadcast as the tombstone, but within the back end of StreamYard, it's just a square, which it does for most of the emotes.
Yeah,
that's odd. Cash flow and personal situation and debts and risk and yada yada yada. It always comes down to the individual situation more than anything. But one thing that I say a lot, and I think a lot of other people have echoed similar, is like I generally don't sell to just make a number go up in bank account. There's not much that I sell to just have more cash, especially if I have 10K in product and I sell it to turn it into cash. That 10K in cash that I get after the sale is actually 9,500 in cash because of fees, and then it goes to $6,000 or $5,000 because of taxes. So like most times I'll just put it into a different product if there's something else that I like better. But to turn it into cash for the sake of cash, not really. To turn it into paying off my house for freedom, yes. To turn it into paying off student loans and car and whatever. There are times and situations where I have and would do that again, absolutely. But everyone's situation is different.
I would agree with what you said. If you're going to use the money for something, then yes. But just for the sake of selling, no.
Top 5 holofoil types. Costco has reverse Cosmos. McDonald's has confetti. Current reverses have mirror, etc. Last place is Firework Hollow from Legendary Collection.
That's awful.
That's last place.
So
dead
bad.
last.
That
dead
is
last.
So bad.
Number one is the swirl one. This I don't even know which one's. Is that Galaxy or is that Cosmos? I can't remember what the hell's what.
That's got to be Cosmos, right? Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I'm terrible with all this stuff, but I would say the one was
That's
swirls.
number one for you?
Yeah, because it's got a chase within the I don't actually care that much about swirls, but I like selling swirls for a big premium. So it's got a chase within the chase. I think that is a cool thing behind it. But what are yours?
I would go the stamp EX stamp reverses as number one.
With like the energy symbol like thing going on in the
with the set logo. Holland Phantoms, Deoxys. So that's number one. Number two is with the energy symbols in the background, like Fire Red, Leaf Green. Number three is going to be the Legendary Collection Firework reverses. And then Cosmos Hollow as the other one.
I do see some great tax questions coming in. We do have to wrap in the next 10 to 15 minutes, so we're going to have to rapid fire some of these. But what will it take for CGC slabs to close the gap versus PSA, or is there too much vested interest for that to happen, especially in current day? I think it could happen, but like it's going to be well beyond my my scope or ability. You basically need massive whales to start valuing highly the CGC label. You need high premiums achieved at auction, public auction. You need people to pay a massive multiplier for pristines that they do on 10s. You need people, and I don't think CGC Gem 10s have to match, and I don't think they ever will match. So Gem 10s is a silver medal at CGC. Pristine is the gold. So if the gold is 5 to 10 times or 3 to 5 times or some consistent multiplier, or it won't even be universal. Not every pristine will be the same. But if it's consistently strong across the board to PSA 10s, and CGC 10s are some reasonable percentage of PSA 10s, like over time it could happen. I think a lot of people get way too strongly rooted in like PSA has always been on top and they always will be. Over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, I'm quite confident PSA will be top dog. But like 20, 30 years out, I don't know. Nobody really knows. Things could happen. And that's where like buy the slab and the label. Buy the label and the card. Buy the label and the card.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is like what you said. People compare CGC Gem 10s to PSA Gem 10s, where that's not a fair comparison. A lot of people still do that. But yeah, I think CGC Pristines should have a premium over PSA 10s. It usually does. But like the Moonbryon that I bought it right at 4,000, which was the same price as a PSA 10. So I think I did well, but the market values them at the same price. So I almost think the Pristines are like under. I don't know if I'd say undervalued because it is expensive still, but I would so much rather a Pristine than a PSA 10. At the same price.
Me too. But like the card matters though too. I remember a few months ago there was actually a buy it now. I believe it was a PSA 10 first edition Dark Charizard, and that card was priced below the most recent PSA 10 sales. And there were auctions, there were multiple comps of CGC 10 pristines below PSA 10s. So it's not universal. You would need things like that to be not a thing. You would need multiple tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars of demand to consistently and universally kind of like, you would need a lot of things that happen over a long period of time. But like PSA with all these unforced errors over time, like that stuff can have an effect. That stuff can add up. That stuff matters over the long run. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. PSA will probably, like, if I had to bet either way, PSA will probably be top dog in 30 years. But if I was like massively invested in that outcome, I would care more a lot more about all the happenings in the short term. I would care a lot about having, like, if you have a PSA 10 that's truly a 10, at the end of the day, if PSA falls out of favor and XYZ becomes the new grader, cross grade it to XYZ. If it's a strong 10, it'll be a strong grade in XYZ's scale as well. So buy the card and the grade is what I always say. And the grader can lose favor, the grader can lose premium and all that stuff, but the card is the card at the end of the day. People lose sight of that. People get so stuck on the labels that, like, the card is the card. And if it's a gem quality card, like, that's gonna survive any reputational damage to the grader. Maybe not, like, maybe it will still lose percentages or whatever, but it won't lose everything. Nick, what's your strategy moving forward as nearly all the best sets in Pokemon are all specialty sets and don't have a booster box?
Up until recently, it's been just setting loose packs back, because obviously, like, with the streaming, I'm fine just having loose packs because I'm gonna sell them myself eventually. But I have started setting back ETBs specifically. So yeah, I would say more so loose packs just for the space. But then setting back a couple cases of ETBs as well. Just because I do think they're always a solid sealed product to hold on to. I still don't do anything with collection boxes or anything like that.
Yeah, and I mostly do loose packs on the pallet for specialty sets. Same reason. I know that they're good. They come from my distro. I break down the products myself. I put them on the pallet. 3, 5, 10, 20 years from now, if I want to have like higher end packs that are known, good, trusted, they weren't weighed, they weren't scanned, they weren't this and that. That's why I like sending those back. With alt losing cross-listing to eBay, that's actually massive hobby news, pretty massive hobby news that nobody's been talking about. I think Zach and Nick, right? Tetra's name is Nick, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zach and Nick were talking about it on, I can't remember the name of all the podcasts, but that other inconsistent podcast that posts weekly and then sometimes 6 months between. And shout out to them. I can't remember their name, but Gem Mint Pokemon and Tetra Ninjas podcast. Sorry guys if you're listening. But yeah, I think they talked about it, and that's pretty big. That's pretty big. That's interesting. It's interesting that eBay allowed a competitor to kind of be there so long. They formerly kicked off PWCC, all the messy breakup, shill bidding, blah, 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 whatever. I guess we didn't get that whole messy nature of it with alt, so we didn't hear about it as much. If there was like a shill bidding accusation, if there were things like that going on, we probably would have heard about it more. But I think Fanatics is solid. I don't have deep data to like support that with. I know that they keep internal data with respect to percentage of card ladder values that they're achieving at auction. Right now, I think every platform's data looks good because week over week cards just sell for more. So everything's being sold for 120% of former card ladder value. But yeah, I run a pretty large business, and like the vast majority of it runs through Fanatics, and I'm very happy there. But PSA Vault is I'm sure, I don't have the data in front of me, I don't have the data in general, but I'm pretty sure that PSA sells more GMV than Fanatics does. I would imagine.
Obviously, like the only thing you hear are the negatives. You don't hear the positives, but there has been a lot of negatives coming out of
Next gen TCG.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. There have been a lot of negatives of people complaining about the PSA Vault. Them breaking cards, not getting them entered, taking forever to ship. Whereas I don't hear anything from Fanatics. So that could be a downside to the PSA Vault. But then again, you do always hear about just the negatives and not the vast majority, which are the positives.
Yeah. People are inherently drama llamas. I'm just searching PSA Pokemon on the PSA thing. 70,000 results. Auction has 10,000 results, so they definitely have more than Fanatics already. But yeah, I think I didn't engage with alt really myself. I don't have any cards in the alt vault. I have had an alt account before. I have sold through them. I have bought through them, but recently they're not someone that I interact with too much. Shout out to Brown Eyes Yellow Dragon. I think they've got a good operation going on over there, but it's less good today than it was a month ago because now you can't cross list on eBay, which definitely sucks.
And I wonder how many of their sales came from eBay versus directly on alt. I would imagine it was a good percentage.
Yeah, I would imagine it's the majority, but that's entirely speculation. If AI generates questions as a means of keeping you both here indefinitely, would you drop your other responsibilities? No. It will be ending in the next 5 to 10 minutes either way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is one quality each of you have you recognize you don't have in yourself? Oh, what is one quality each of you recognize you don't have in yourself and you're glad that you don't? I'm not a good salesman, and I'm kind of glad for it. I think I think the fact that I have no desire to be a good salesman and my antiviral nature, I think that's a good thing. I think in a lot of ways it's kind of bad short term, but I think it's who I am and it's my brand, and I think a lot of people trust me and consign with me and sell to me because of that inherent trust there. I'm just always going to be a bad salesman, and I guess my upside is like lower, but I can live with myself the way that I interact in the space, and I always will be able to.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know if there's something I don't have that I'm glad I don't have. I don't know. That's a tough one. I can't think of anything because I'm just so perfect all around.
True.
But I don't know, because like I can say organization, I can say I'm not good with Excel and spreadsheets and all that stuff, but I want to be better with that stuff. I don't know if there's anything that I don't have that I'm glad I don't have. I'd have to think on that one. I don't know.
It is a thought-provoking question.
Mm-hmm.
Timmy McGee hitting us with the deep questions. Ancient Mew has an easier one. Are you going to go hard on the 30th? So like the 30th, if it's really good, it'll probably be priced like it's really good. And I'll probably sell most of it. I'll with the pallets, I'll force myself to hold some because we're booming and everything's crazy and everyone's nuts. But if the price is too crazy, I'll probably just dump the vast majority. But like that's the kind of question that like context matters. Yes, at the right price, I would get hundreds of thousands of dollars worth and I would sit on them. But at the price that they'll likely be, I'll probably get 50 to 100 grand worth, and I'll probably churn and burn the rest of it and make a bunch of money.
So more so on the singles. What's your strategy?
Grade a bunch at the start. Try to get the stupid graded premiums through CGC Fanatics. And then, yeah, just have them in stock for the streams. But like, I'm not going to do any. I don't really do big plays with singles. If I can get like 1,000 of a promo or 500 of a promo, I'm more prone to do that. But I'm not going to go like buy out TCG player with 10 or 20 grand, or I don't really do those kind of plays. Maybe I should, but
I think I'm going to buy, maybe not right out of the gate, but within a couple of weeks, I'm going to buy a bunch of singles to set back. Not a ton, but do my 10, 20 copies of all the ones that I want. I'm still kicking myself with the First off, the Phantasmal Charizard. I did buy a decent bit of those at around the $700 mark. But I could have bought it if I bought earlier. I could have bought it at the $500 mark. But the bigger one I'm kicking myself with is the Ascended Pikachu, where he's standing by the tree. I knew I wanted to buy a bunch of those cards, but I thought I'm gonna wait for this reprint or this release where we got the other collection boxes, we got the booster bundles, we got wave 2 of some of the collection boxes. I thought now would be the time to buy that card, but it's already jumped from $400 or $500 up to $1,000 because I waited for more product to come out. So I think as long as things stay the same for the 30th, I think the whole, like it used to be, the cards came out high and then they dropped after a couple weeks, and we're just not seeing that now. So I think now you have to kind of pivot and buy stuff shortly after release. So I think that's what I'm going to do, at least for a 10, 20 copies of each card that I want.
Top Signal. By the time Nick starts buying them out the gate, that's when they're going to go back to their historical norm of being here and then going there. I knew I wanted to buy a bunch of Ascended Picos, then do it lightweight. All the microphone and none of the conviction.
I know.
Get wrecked, Nick. Get wrecked.
I'm kicking. That is the it's gonna be a hot take here. That is my new favorite Pikachu. It's even better than the Gold Star Pikachu. I said it.
I like it. I think that's a pretty
Gold Star
pretty
Pikachu used to be my number one Pikachu, but I think this Ascended, the one where he's standing by the tree, is the greatest Pikachu artwork.
Every newest artwork is the best artwork.
No, it's not because it's the newest. No, stop it. Because I never said that about the Booty Chew in Surging. That is a god awful Pikachu.
Charlie's going at all hat, no cattle. All talk, no walk. The man is being exposed for the fraud that he is. We're gonna take a couple more and then we're gonna wrap up. How important is Series 1 promo pack if I'm long on first partner illustration? Do you see them moving on to additional series or coming back to hit the Series 1 repeatedly? Would that even matter? I have no clue. It feels like the Mythical Pink collections and the way that they did the Mythical Pink collections, though that was 10 years ago, the Mews were a premium. The Mews were harder to get out of all of them. They were $6.15 or $8.15. What were they at wholesale? 2 packs, so they were probably $6.15. Is that right? $6.15 at wholesale or $6.25? And $14.99 retail or $12.99 retail. But anyways, I think the first partner ones will do well. I'm going deeper into the first partners, likely at a significantly higher price than the Series 2 or Series 3 will be. But again, I could be wrong. I don't know. That's the talk versus the walk. The talk matching the walk.
I don't know if we will get a reprint of Series 1 or same thing with like Series 2, 3, 4, 5. Just because they have so many series to print. I feel like it's going to be like a one and done type thing.
I think there's only going to be 3 series, right? Because there's 3 generations each series.
Yeah.
To cover the 9. Nick going all the way out to Series 5. Man's wild. Top 3 ways to reduce my Pokegains taxes if I am morally flexible and have a high risk tolerance. Definitely pay a good CPA a lot of money because they will have good strategies for you. But and Charlie knows this all, but cash basis, spend to zero, yada, yada, yada. Buy a very large vehicle above 6,000 pounds or whatever it is, depreciate it all in 1 year. If you want to get aggressive, be aggressive on what you define as and how you define what your business vehicle is and how much of your home you're using for business. And there's a lot of gray area that some people get very aggressive on, more than my liking would be. And some people don't get aggressive enough. So some like I'll talk on here and I'll talk about how I went out to dinner a couple weeks ago with Pokeflipz with Pokefest. And I put a $1,000 meal on my business credit card. I've had people say things like that, like, "Oh, you should expense this." Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like, no, I actually am. What are you talking about? Like, this is obviously a business. Like, some people are so far towards like they don't expense anything. So many things that they could, and then other people are taking in 500K in wires and ACHs and then not reporting it anywhere. And it's like, yeah, I'm somewhere in between those two extremes.
Mm-hmm. That's like, you know what's been popping up for me a lot lately is like the YouTube shorts. It's like explain to the IRS how you deducted a $500,000 desk, and it's just like a bunch of ETBs stacked up with a piece of plywood over it.
That would be an aggressive take, yes. But yeah, it's crazy how much of a blind spot it is for so many people. I think tax planning in and around businesses and in and around investing is crucial. Taxes can eat up a vast majority of your returns if you're doing them improperly. But yeah. What do you think is cooler, VMAX or Mega?
Oh, 100% Mega.
Mega. So we're both Mega. Hard scarcity is skyrocketing. Hundreds of cards that have historically been considered below average in popularity. Will this trend boost things like the Platinum era that have zero collectible merit? Oh, man.
I don't understand why.
Level X's already are booming, aren't they? I think Level X's are booming.
I don't get it. Yes. I don't understand it.
If you have a random Diamond and Pearl, Platinum, like whatever, if you have a random common card that's pop 7 because nobody graded it, that card will, like, if it's the right species, what was it recently? Psyduck. Random Psyduck cards, like Sun and Moon reverse hollows that nobody graded, selling for $800, $900. Like, that stuff is lunacy to me. In some ways I get it, because it's like, if you're a multimillionaire, whatever, I think the people buying those, oftentimes it's like 5% of their net worth that they're putting into a $1,000 duck. That's crazy to me. But yeah,
I don't
Charlie,
get them.
Charlie, you should go live. You should go live after this. With that, though,
what happened to all the computer equipment he bought years ago to start a YouTube channel?
I think
I'm still waiting.
I think he said, I spoke with him recently, and he said something might be coming on that front, but I'm still anxiously awaiting. I'll go live and argue the opposite of everything they just said. Call it the Sanity Report. There you go. Love to see it. Everyone tune in. Everyone go raid the Sanity Report. He's going live now. But a lot of us are anxiously awaiting Charlie's entrance into the social media sphere more thoroughly, and the YouTube space and all that. But we'll see what we get if and when we get it. Not holding my breath, but I'm excited about what we could potentially get.
Yes. Me too.
Anything else to add? Anything going on this weekend people should tune into? KetchumAllCollectibles, eBay, Fanatics, most of the day, every day. Go find us there.
Yeah, tune into my streams instead of Dan's streams, as always.
But yeah, other than that, we'll be live in a couple of weeks, and hope everyone has a great weekend. Thanks as always for being here. Thanks for all the engaging questions. Nice to see you in here, Charlie. Nice little treat, unexpected. But yeah, with that, we're gonna head out. We will catch you all later.
See you later.